Welcome one and all to the live stream edition of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew, and as always, joined by Belle beside me and Dave on the other side of the screen. And then underneath us, you have Conrad and Jeff. Thank you once again, one and all, for jumping in for another, I'm sure it's going to be wild and fun stream. We're going to try and get through in whatever time we get through this thing in. It was funny watching you guys beforehand because Dave started off doing the whole thing because there's obviously that slight delay between the countdown thing and the opening credits kicking off. And Dave started doing this whole thing, giving the horns or whatever else he wanted to do in between. Now Jeff has started to do the wave as well. So I'm sure this is going to become a whole thing as time progresses.
Yeah, let's do a Mexican wave.
Nobody keypad the screen.
No, let's not do that. But anyway, we've got a lot to get through as always tonight, folks. So Jody says hello to everyone as always, by the way.
Jody. Hey, Jody.
But we have the latest round of King of the Riff. Round 8, King of the Riff is, for us, it's Alice in Chains Dirt versus Mötley Crüe, Shout the Devil. For the audience, we did the poll already. It was Alice in Chains Dirt versus Iron Maiden Killers. We'll have the results of that later on. We have the latest round of Fretboard Feud, where we go through and pick songs from Toys in the Attic from Aerosmith. We have Backyard Banger, which is Electric Mary this week. And we're also going to do the guessing game and all the usual stuff as well, with the bin and everything else coming up later on. So a lot to get through, as always. Looking forward to all the fun and games we're going to have here. Yeah, hopefully everyone's having a good week out there and looking after themselves and having some fun. And just going to go through here. Let's see who's here so far. If you're here, jump in, say hi, and let us know you are here. Let us know if it's the first time you're watching. Let us know where you're tuning in from as well. We like to get to know our people. Nicole's here. Good evening, all. Good to see you, Nicole. Michael, too. Good evening, all. Good to see you as well. Kat's here. Hey, guys. Good to see you, too. Oh, fuck. Darren's here. Wow.
Every time.
Good evening, guys. Maiden was awesome Friday night. We will have that section coming up next week, so just keep your eyes and ears peeled for that one. And Jolly says, hi, all, and Jody. So there we go. More love for that one, too. Good to see you all. Thoughts on Iron Maiden will be coming up next week. That has already been sort of in the works before. We've got to wait for Bill to go and see the band.
I know. I'm always slow.
These people in Sydney again.
Tomorrow.
Yep. Tomorrow night.
Get a shirt belt.
They're playing tonight, actually. They're doing 2 in Sydney as well, tonight and tomorrow.
There, no, it's good. So I wasn't laughing at you, Belle. I just got a sort of comment come through, and it's like, okay, because Terry's gone hi all, and then this is the reason I was laughing. Kat's gone, I look forward to that Raw, Jeff, every week. So
You got it. Get it. Every week.
that's wild.
Oh, great.
Oh, I know. Now you've created a monster cat. Look, careful what you wish for.
Some people eat cats and dogs.
Yeah, okay. Especially in what was that? I don't know where that place was. Ohio or something.
I need someone to woof at. Someone with a, I don't know, doggy name.
Okay, calling all Brutuses. If we can get a Brutus in the chat.
Yeah, Fido, Pluto,
Fred. I'll get Caesar in there for you at some point if he gets off the bed. He's asleep over there, so whatever. All right, we're killing time. Let's get into it. Let's get into the Hot Rocks part of the show where we go through the songs of the week and then pick out one of the bunch. So just to quickly recap, an honorable mention goes to Planes with Slow Riding Fast Decay. Not quite enough to get into the top 10 this week, but I want to give that a shout out because it did get some votes in the end. That was nominated by Kat. All right, so that means coming in at number 10, we have Wind Rose with To Be a Dwarf, nominated by Michael. That was a fun little song, that one. That got number 10 this week. Number 9, Arcade Stories, Australian band with Arcade Sequence. That was one I nominated. It got to number 9 this week. Inertia, Second Shadow. Vinny nominated that one. That got to 8th spot this week. And that's been a Sydney, I believe, from memory. Then we have Those Damn Crows, the song that just cannot fucking die in this poll. I got to number 7 this week. Number 6 was last week's number 1 with Eclipse is Still My Hero. Number 6. Number 5, DAD with their latest single, Keep That Mother Down, nominated by Michael. That got to number 5 this week. Number 4, Belle's Choice, Gojira with Mea Culpa. That got to number 4 this week. Number 3, this one jumped up a few places from last week. This is Miles Kennedy, Nothing More to Gain. That was one that was holding over, and it's jumped up a few places into number 3 this week. Which means number 2 went to April Art, Not Afraid, nominated by Jolie. That was a very cool song there. And then number 1, by a fair margin this week, was Melbourne band Cicadastone with the acoustic rendition of Burn Your Name. That got to number 1 this week. So we are obviously very, very happy to see these ones. Get your votes in if you want to get involved in that one. I did have a tab up before, but I'll do it again just to put this on here. You can join us on Patreon, and that's how you get involved in all this. You get to nominate and vote and all that sort of stuff there as well. Just a quick little note here that if you follow our current listening playlist on Spotify, you'll notice that the 5 songs that I put in there aren't the top 5 songs on the Hot Rocks playlist that we have as well, because what we're doing is, for our reference, I put the 5 songs that went highest, but are also new songs for us, not having the same songs week in, week out, just for ease of us finding the information here. The current listening really is just for the behind-the-scenes stuff here. It's not the biggest... It's great for public stuff, but yeah, the Hot Rocks and the Tastemakers and that are the 3 big ones out publicly. But yeah, just for current listening is really for our reference, and just everyone else gets to sort of chime in and see what we're listening to this week. Quickly here, Vinny's gone. The upcoming THRS Tastemakers is a ball terror. So many good tracks. It is a good one. Next week's list is going to be good. Guru is here going, greetings, rockers across the plain. And DAD, yeah, from your neck of the woods, that is. So you'd be very, very happy indeed. All right, let's do the rounds here. So we're all going to do the song that got our attention the most this week. And Belle, we're going to start with you. What was the song that got your attention this week?
I really liked Second Shadow by Inertia. I actually didn't realise that they were a Sydney band until a bit earlier this evening. I thought I'll do a bit of digging.
Yeah.
So cool. And I'm surprised it's a Vinny song. And I don't mean that, I've got to be careful with Vinny because, I always seem to piss him off. But anyway, it was
Dave and Vinny. You and Vinny can't be in the same room at the same time for different reasons that Dave and Vinny can't be at the same time.
Yeah, there would be maybe fisticuffs if Vinny and I are in the room, as opposed to lots of drinking and dirty.
Archery.
Anyway.
All right. So what do I think? This stood out to me. It was me, but if you know my taste, sorry, I should clarify. But yeah, it really jumped out to me of all the tracks that I was able to talk about because I put forward Gojira, and that was on there. And I have to be diverse about my. Fuck, that song's awesome. And anyway,
I know.
Yeah. All right. So look, a song by Inertia. It blends 2 of my loves, like metal and I wouldn't call it techno, but kind of the electronic side of things.
Yeah.
And some bands just do it really well. Northlane do it really well. I don't think these guys are a bit poppier than Northlane, but they've kind of got the same. They've got the same underlying atmosphere, in their sound, that kind of synth mood going. The vocals.
The same gig, it'd work. Yeah.
It would actually, yeah, it would, and you get an interesting crowd because Northlane. They're first and foremost, especially their kind of earlier stuff, was very. It was their metalcore and the electronic element. It's always been there, but I've got to stop talking about Northlane, who are coming down to Hobart, by the way. I'm so excited. I found out yesterday. All right, I'm done with Northlane. Inertia. Anyway, Inertia, fantastic. I think the song sits really comfortably between the 2 styles, blends very well for the most part, leans a bit this way here and a bit way there, which is cool. And like the blast of heaviness right at the end. I love that. That was cool. The chorus is tuneful and catchy and incredibly modern sounding. The whole thing just screams here and now kind of, with that just vibe. And I think you could easily hear the chorus in a nightclub and then you could hear sort of the heavier elements in a rock club. It's just kind of, it's the best of both worlds. I love it. Yep. I don't know their influences. I don't even know if the singer does all the styles of vocals. But that's
not sure personally.
Yeah. Sometimes bands like that have sort of 2 people doing, especially when there's less of one. So yeah, I'll be interested to find out. A bit of screamo and breakdown at the end would scare the pants off all the Kardashian clones on the dance floor. Anyway, I fucking love to see that. I feel they're more kind of a groove pop than metal. I've sort of covered this. I'm going through my notes, but yeah, the constant atmospheric noises from the synths and to smooth over the rough edges from the guitar and drums, and the clean vocals go a long way to giving it a pop vibe. But yeah, I really liked it. It got me moving.
Cool.
I'd be keen to. I was thinking before, on earlier listens, I don't know if I'd go as far as perhaps listening to a whole album, but I probably would actually. Because if it's more like this, then yeah, I liked it more. The more I listened to it, the more I liked it. So yeah, it was a good one. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, that is off of an album of the same name, which was released in August. Okay. So if you want to go and check out more, then people can. Just so you know. Alrighty, let's keep going through the rounds. Dave, what was your pick this week, if you had one?
Alrighty. Well, as people behind the scene knows, I was actually going to take this week off. So, like at the last minute, 15 minutes before we went on, I'm just like, nah, fuck it. I'm going to do it. So the only song out of the 5 that I listened to was Gojira. Obviously, we all knew that as soon as it happened. Yeah. And I think anyone within 12 hours of that happening had heard it or seen it. And then it got removed from YouTube, and then it got uploaded again, and then it got removed, and then it got uploaded. But now it's officially released, which is fucking great because it's awesome. The Olympics are finally worth watching because if this is the caliber of stuff we're going to get, then that's cool. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, sports is for people who can't play an instrument. So finally, we've got something decent at this sports event.
I play both. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking sports people. This is ultra heavy, cool, chunky riffs, very melodic. Orchestration is amazing. It brings out the heaviness of the guitars. The vocals are amazing, and overall, it's an explosive performance. I thought this was fantastic. 9 shots out of 10.
Yeah, completely agree with that one, Dave. I fucking loved it as well. I always give myself 2 options, and it's fucking stunner. But anyway, we'll keep moving. Jeff, over to you.
Okay, I'm not afraid of April Art. I loved April Art. This is a fucking great song. I love this song. I didn't know who these guys were, so I had to look them up a little bit. They're from Germany.
Yep.
Love this fucking song. This was great. It had, it was just cool. Had everything I was looking for in a song at that time. It was angry, had some angst, and it had some catchy rhythms and melodies and all that stuff. I like that sort of shit. So yeah, it's called Not Afraid and April Art. And I'm gonna give this 9 shots. Fuck it. I was gonna give it 8, but I'm gonna
we're drinking good tonight.
We're having some good ones.
Top shelf.
Good ones. Doing the rounds. All righty. How'd you go this week, Conrad?
I listened to all of these, and some I liked more than others, but as the others have been taken, I'm going to take no surprises here. I'll take DAD.
Nice.
Keeping that mother down. I mean, this is not reinventing the wheel. It's not doing anything wildly new and innovative, but nevertheless, it's solid. It's a solid, good rock song, radio friendly, and it should be played on the radio. I'd like to hear this on the radio, and this is what the radio should be playing, this sort of stuff, for sure. I am going to give this 8, as it didn't quite.
Oh my god!
There we go.
That
is great.
That was created for me from one of our viewers. One of our viewers created that for me. She lives here in London, and she comes to my rock night regularly. Rock night regularly. I've known her for many years, and she made that for me. Had that made for me, and I had. I'm not wearing it. Today, out of respect to none other than, of course, James L. Jones.
Nice.
Yes.
James L. Jones.
Well done.
Gutted over that. That has really hit me hard. As in, False of Doom is one of my favorite characters of all time.
I can tell, and I watched that clip. You're right. That was brilliant.
Yeah, Darth Vader as well, of course, and just So, out of respect to James L. Jones, I'm not wearing the smashed it out of the ballpark shirt, but that will be worn next week because I'm going to hear about it next week from, of course, Victoria. She will say,
Victoria.
She's watching.
Gotta give a shout out. Yeah, well done,
Victoria. Out of respect to James L. Jones, sorry, Victoria, but you will see me wearing it on the show.
Did he die? Oh shit! I didn't know.
Just come down. Shit.
Okay.
He was
you're not up to date with things in Tassie. You have the the TV down there and the internet. keeping up with current
Fuck
events
you,
down in
Conrad.
Tasmania. I know you get news by carrier pigeons down there. Okay.
Well, yeah, it happened 2 days ago. The pigeon's still on Bass Strait somewhere, I guess, unless it drowned. But
Well, of course, we'll get there eventually.
Yes, Darth Vader has checked out and joined.
oh, that's sad. He was cool.
Yeah, he was. This.
Yes, he was very.
There was a funny episode of The Big Bang Theory where he got I think Sheldon and him got together and had this big boys' night out. It was hilarious.
Yeah. And they turned up at Terry Fisher's house.
They knocked on their door and ran off. That was a great episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. Okay.
Oh, well, here's a quick little toast to the late great James Earl Jones.
Absolutely.
Well played.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, good innings.
One hell of a life.
Metal as fuck. That dude was metal as fuck. Look,
93.
watch his performance in Conan.
93. Yeah, fuck, we can all
Good innings. Very good innings. And our condolences to, we're not all complete half-wits, so our condolences to his family and friends and those that loved and knew him in the real world, apart from our nonsense here. So yeah, it is always sad when we lose an icon, but it's always harder for those that are nearest and dearest. So yes, our sincere condolences to those people there.
So 8 shots for DAD. Sorry, getting back on track.
No, cool.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Solid,
well played.
Solid, decent,
that's it.
radio-friendly rock song. It's great to see them still releasing music in 2024.
Yes. Yeah. I was stoked to see that one come through. I didn't even know it was out until it was nominated by Michael. So thank you for Michael for putting that through. All right. Well, I'm just going to keep things going and go the different way here. The one that has not been talked about yet. These are all cracking songs, by the way. Every choice here has been fucking great. This and Tastemakers, the 2 playlists this week, are fucking great. Each week we sort of keep getting really good lists at the moment, so it's pretty fucking hard to go through and vote. But my number one this week, I'm going to go with another Aussie act in this one. I'm going to go with the number one choice for the people out there as well, with Cicadastone, Burn Your Name.
Great song.
The acoustic versions of what these guys do is fantastic. Now, I would have, having listened to the title track, Future Echoes, because I put it into a TV episode coming up in the near future, I would have probably, it was just a top up track, because if there's not quite enough to get the numbers through, I add ones from Australian artists to fill things out. But this one here was the one that was released sort of first kind of thing, so I went with that one. Future Echoes, if you get a chance, check that out, please do, because that is the album, this EP, but also that song as an acoustic is absolutely fantastic. If you've seen our review, which is online, of the Cicadastone album, you'll know how much I love that band and have done for quite some years now, between interviewing them and chatting to them. And they're great people, not just a great band. Got a lot of love for those guys. And this one comes from the Future Echoes EP, acoustic EP, which was released at the end of August. And this has 5 tracks from the album of the same name, Future Echoes, which was released early this year. Just done in acoustic form for this point. Now, if you know the band well, you'll know they do acoustic shows. Dave, you in particular will know this as much as I do, that these guys are absolutely phenomenal live in all facets, but their acoustic shows are really something special to go and check out if you get a chance to do. What's great about this one is how good it fucking sounds. The production is brilliant. I mean, Matt does all the self-production. He's got his own studio, Color Sound Studios, and he's doing great things out of that place. And this is no exception, of course, will be for his own project. But I love the tones, how it sounds, great space, great reverb. All the usual suspects are knocked it, quote unquote, out of the park for you, Conrad. I think
you're off cue, dude.
What's great about this one, though, is how it showcases in the best possible way the acoustic does. Like, it has, like, the harmonies get shown off in that aspect, which also leans into like showing off the emotive weight of these songs, because that's the thing that Cicadastone do so well is storytelling and emotion, like, emotive telling and emotion, like, how do I put it, like cathartic releases of emotion. Like they do that sort of thing really well, and this acoustic version really just sort of hones in on that even more so than the electrified versions on the original album. But on that one, that being said, this one sort of really uses the bass and the drums nicely. I'm glad they sort of kept that to be like the warm electric element and just focus on the guitars and vocals. So the mids were the warmer organic stuff, and you had the electric stuff coming in, around that with the drums and the bass, which was really, really cool. It was really well done. And I'm glad that everyone got to play their part on this song in particular. There's nothing complicated about this one. I'm not going to sit here and say it's mind-blowing in all these ways, but what it is it's incredibly, incredibly well done, and I personally love it. If you love acoustic renditions of damn good songs, just check this out. You will be thoroughly impressed. There's nothing not to like about this whole EP. They haven't really released an acoustic performance apart from video and that in the past. So I'm glad this band have finally gotten around to showcasing this side of their talent in this way. And I, for one, think it's well worth the wait, but also a bit overdue. Well, I don't know if it's me for
died.
No, it's Bell.
Okay. That's Bell. All right, cool. Not just me. All right. So we'll get Bell back in a second here, hopefully. But for me, yeah, I love this one. Like I said, worth the wait, but past due, but it is here now. So check it out, please. I gave this one 9 shots as well. We're all drinking very, very well today. So 9 shots for me for Cicadastone. I loved it to bits. It was absolutely fantastic. Just to quickly recap here on the newer songs that are in Tastemakers currently, we have Alone with the Gods, Save Your Soul, Dear Matilda, Blood Moon, that was nominated by Bell, the previous song by Vinny. DGM, The Greatest Unknown, Basher put that one forward. Head of Clay, Today We're Gonna Fly, a Melbourne band have come forward with a top-up song there. King's Vengeance, Burn It Down, another Melbourne band, that's my pick this week.
Cool.
Another top-up song, just because it's the talk of the town at the moment, we put Linkin Park, The Emptiness Machine, we'll see how that goes. But Jolie, Dave, speaking to your heart, has put Marco Hietala's Frankenstein's Wife into the Tastemakers playlist. Richie Kotzen, Insomnia, nominated by Michael. We have 6th Century, Adrenaline, nominated by Kat, of course, because Kat loves that band. So do we, for the record. Yep. And Jeff put Tokyo Blade, Don't Bleed Over Me after a false start with the previous song.
Yeah, I got fucked over.
Showed up to you as new. It was quite a few years old, so not quite new.
I know.
All right, let's get some comments in. Bash is here, speaking of. Good evening, all. Good to see you. Edge Crusher's here as well. Hello, all.
Edge Crusher.
David, g'day. Good to see you. And then Guru says, did not know about the new single. See, this is why I come here. And this is why we do this whole segment. The whole point. Vinny says, I best reserve my reactions. I'll be Captain No Mates by the Christmas stream. When it comes to... Victoria's here. There we go. Speaking of, happy Thursday, all. Good to see you. And well done
Victoria.
on the t-shirt.
Thank you for the shirt. Thank you for the shirt.
That's fantastic, actually.
I hope you got to see that.
Yeah. Vinny says, Inertia have quite a few good tracks, Bell. Have put some time into them. Definitely recommend you do the same. So there we go. We'll get Bell back, hopefully. Jolie says, Jeff. There we go. Love for Jeff's choice there. Lowell Conrad, love that top. So there we go. Lots of love for the t-shirt coming through. Adrian says, I love Star Wars. Collect action figures. Wow. That's cool. I had a whole bunch of those.
So did I.
But they all got fucking tossed out. Nicole, 93 years old. What a great innings. It is absolutely a great innings. Kieran's here saying hi, all. Good to see you. Elliot's here as well saying hello, all. Got a few people jumping in now. Basher, great innings, 93. Yes.
I don't want to I don't want to dwell on that, but I just want to post you an image of how cool was this that they did this in New York. I don't know if you saw that they did in New York as a tribute to him in New York. I'm posting it to you. I'll post it to you, Jeff, and then you can post it.
I'll send it. Yeah, you send it to me.
New York was phenomenal.
Yeah,
I saw it, and it was wow. It's like holy shit.
Yeah, coolest fucking tribute to him. Amazing. Yeah,
just send it in. Send it in the chat there.
I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, send it to Jeff, and then Jeff can send it to me, and we'll work it out from there.
I've done it.
Cool. Okay. Hadrian says, Jeff, how was the Maiden show? Wait till next week. I'm going to hold everyone's powder dry on that until next week. All right. I know people. So there we go. Kaj has gone, looks like Adam Cole from AEW. Which one of us? That'd be an interesting conversation to have. I don't know which one of us looks like Adam Cole, but all right. Dave, Cole? Maybe you can edit
a wrestler.
Yeah. Oh. Don't worry. Adrian says, Bella's faded to black. Well, speaking of, we have her back. So there we go.
Hello, Belle. Belle's back.
Welcome back.
Hello. Sorry.
Don't
Amsterdam.
Blame Elon.
Yes. Leon. He's a twit anyway. Vinny says, Conrad, that wouldn't be a bad t-shirt to pass on to the next like a girl who gets laid by you. Fucking Anyway, I'm going to leave that alone. Elliot says, how good is the new Nightwish song? I haven't heard it yet, so I can't really say.
Yes.
Not worthy.
So fucking good.
Well, if anyone wants to, they can put it into the Tastemakers next week. Michael says, hey, all good to see you as well.
Hey, man.
Yeah, there's your mate. And then Cat says Cicadastone 8 shots. Love it. So there we go. And by the way, there are reference tracks and all sorts of stuff. There are links to everything in the description box of this episode. So go and check all that stuff out over there. Alrighty. Going to try and make up for a little bit of time here wherever I can. So I'm going to steal a moment here to go over the hard rock happenings. And there's a few things this week to get through quickly as quickly as I can. So first up, Linkin Park, in case you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have, but just in case, they have unveiled new vocalist Emily Armstrong. They also announced a tour to go with that and a new album From Zero due November the 15th. From that, the lead single, The Emptiness Machine, is out now. Safe to say, they also added new drummer Colin Britton of G, who has worked with G Flip, the Australian artist there in the past as well.
G-Flip.
Yeah, G Flip. They used to be the drummer in
Sonny's
Emperor.
band. Yeah, Emperor.
Yep. So they were the drummer in that band for a while. So we are familiar with G Flip's work, just not in this context. But anyway. Safe to say, if you've been following along, this hasn't all gone to plan. It hasn't been smooth sailing so far, so I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty details. I don't really have a lot of time for it personally, but it's just been one of those things where there was this immediate sort of hype, and then it just went, it's like the hot air just went fucking taken straight out of it. So we're waiting to see how this fucking plays out, because it's a bit of a PR disaster, but anyway, we'll see what happens. But anyway, there's a new singer, and we'll see how long it takes for things to ride out. Moving on to the next bit of news this week, there's been a few scams kicking around when it comes to using AI music and streaming services. In particular, this one came to light. There's someone else, like a lot of bands got hit recently by this one particular company that sounds like an Indian name. I know it might be stereotypical. I hate doing this, but it does sound that way. And they all link back to this one. They were like claiming royalties from artists and that. But this one in particular is a North Carolina man out of the US is facing numerous charges after scamming $10 million over 7 years using AI-generated music listened to by bots. There's so much info about this, but yeah, he's managed to take $10 million away from streaming services. He's been since charged with wire fraud and a bunch of other things, and I don't know how it's all going to play out, but that is something that has happened. So I think that streaming services, if he's been doing it for 7 years, you can imagine. So streaming services are going to really pick up their act, all of them, on combating this kind of shit. Because if you want, everyone talks about the artists making a pittance from streaming. Shit like this certainly does not help.
Interesting how streaming kills CDs and AI bots are going to kill streaming.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how this actually
it's the next in the logical chain.
Mm-hmm.
Except that it's not even anything associated with music that's going to get the money. It's just tech companies.
Yeah, which is the saddest part of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on. A couple of things here. The Hell on the Bay, that cruise gig that's been going on for a decade now. Yeah. Hell on the Bay. They've got number 10 coming up actually tomorrow and on Saturday, and it will be their final. So they're doing number 10, and it's going to be their last. So if you haven't been on Hell on the Bay, it is an absolutely fantastic fucking day out. So go and do it. They've expanded it up to 2 days of the weekend in recent times. But yeah, for this year, you've got DJs as well as bands such as Orpheus Omega, Wolfpack, Werewolves, Harlot, Hybrid Nightmares, and many more on top of that. I think it's a black and white theme, depending on the night you go and that sort of stuff. But get around them. Celebrate 10 years of doing this gig, because you get to basically have a bunch of metal bands for 4 hours on a boat in Melbourne. In Melbourne Bay, so it's a fucking great day out. But yeah, help them quote unquote bow out in style as well after 10 years. One hell of a run. Well done to all involved in Hell on the Bay. It's one hell of an effort to do 10 years in a row, or apart from maybe the COVID shit, but they've done 10 years now. So well done, and hopefully all the best to all of you going forward with whatever you choose to do next. Speaking of Orpheus Omega, they and Carmeria are hitting the road together for the Embers of Tragedy tour. They're hitting Melbourne November 16 at Max Watts, Sydney November 22nd at Crowbar, and Canberra November 23 at the Baso. There are other dates on this tour, but they don't feature. They're in Broken Hill and Ballarat, but they don't have Carmeria. That's where Orpheus Omega are doing other side shows, quote unquote. But that is something very, very cool. So keep your eyes out for that. We have a full interview with Carmeria coming out in the next sort of 24 to 48 hours, and that'll be followed by a full interview with TDT as well. So keep your eyes peeled on our socials and also our YouTube channel for that. Finally, the release list is there. There's a big release list this week. A couple of ones to start off with. Cryptcrawler out of Perth are releasing their new album, The Immortal Realm. And then The Nail, which features Garish from Garish and the Chronicles. They have their debut self-titled album coming out tomorrow as well. Around that, other ones that I've picked, you've got Crowbot releasing Obsidian, The Damned with AD 2022 live in Manchester. Flotsam and Jetsam have a new album coming out called I Am the Weapon. What have we got here? Also, Gua are doing Hello 36th anniversary edition. You got Oceans of Summer with Where Gods Fear to Speak. Striper have their new album coming, When We Were Kings. That's out tomorrow. And a whole lot more as well. So there's a whole lot there to go and check out if you choose to. Have fun with that or not. Take your pick. Let's get some comments in here. Let us know what you're checking out tomorrow, new music-wise. Kura says, I can only see that hat. So there we go. There's the hat. And Adrian says, Hell on the Bay sounds interesting. That's because Guru is obsessed with your hat. No, Conrad. But Hell on the Bay sounds interesting. It is a very interesting event. If you can get down there, please do it. It will be a lot of fun to go.
I DJ'd that once. I DJ'd it once.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
I think I DJ'd it once or twice.
Yeah. They've got. I think the Crepta Children are one of the DJs they've got on that night, on one of the nights too. So there you go. It's just the only name I recognised from the few they had. Adrian's here saying Striper saw them back in the day. Yes, a lot of people love that band. So be curious to see how that.
Yeah, I saw them in Melbourne. Fantastic.
Yeah,
a few years ago.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I met them in Melbourne.
That's great. Sorry, Michael's jumped in to say the new Ginger single is great too. I haven't checked that out yet, but I was aware that one had come out, but I haven't checked it out yet. So Ginger, there's a whole lot of as we go into like the final third of the year. Now it's all just going to fucking go nuts. So anyway, that's that. Speaking of going nuts, it's time to go on to the next segment here, which is Backyard Banger, which means we're going to throw to Bell now. I know you've had a busy week. Hopefully you've been able to get to this one. Otherwise, this is going to be a very short segment. But what we do is every week we put a spotlight on an Aussie artist. We poll the audience and get the people out there in social media land to tell us what they'd like us to do. And we do all the bands, just a matter of what in what order we do them in. And this week we have Electric Mary. So we've decided to go with the album Down to the Bone. It was assigned to Bell this week. This is a band that I think many people know out there, but I don't know how much, Bell, you're familiar with Electric Mary. I don't know.
I know nothing.
Well, this is going to be good then. It's going to be
until this week.
A first taste, a first hearing of Electric Mary's debut album, Down to the Bone, with thoughts from Bell. So over to you.
Yes, and thank you for the note of me having a busy week, because it's not very I listened to it today. Full disclosure, I listened to it today. I jotted some stuff down. I fucking loved what I heard though, so it wasn't hard to just go blah 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 blah. But anyway, it's not heaps long.
They're an impressive band. This is a good album. Yeah,
so good. Yeah. So yeah, I had no expectations with this album, not having heard anything by this band before. I suppose I could say other than I've heard you guys say good things about this band. Yeah. So, but then I've learned to not trust everything you guys say, because you've talked up bands before that I've everyone has their own taste. Before I go insulting my colleagues anymore, I'll just read. There was no easing into this album. It was high octane rock and roll straight away from the opening track, and I loved it. It was like, well, that track in particular, and there are a couple of others further in the album. It was like if thrash and rock and roll had a baby. Yeah, it was groovy, but it was fast. That's what I got, particularly from Sorry, I think was the first song. And then they changed gears completely with track 2. They are cruising with Let Me Out, but there's no less cool. And probably more my pace, I guess, more broadly. And then another crazy one with One in a Million, which turned out not to be the cover song I was kind of hoping for. But
it's not Guns N' Roses, no.
It was still a fucking cool song in its own right. Possibly even my favorite on the album, actually. It had a great groove, and I loved the guitar noodling at the end. Then the pace picks back up again with No One Does It Better Than Me, and this kind of continued the rest of the album. It was paced perfectly as a whole listen.
Yeah.
Which makes it dynamic and keeps it interesting. All the guitarists are cool, original sounding and catchy. The solo work is stellar. But not taking away any of that, what really stood out to me on this album were the vocals.
Nice.
So good. I was thinking, how you can hear an album and the music's great, and you think, fuck, this is great, and the vocals, they're okay, but they kind of if the vocals aren't good, they let everything down, really. It's hard to really enjoy an album if the vocals are a bit
Yeah,
this
agree.
was not the case here. This, if anything, like lifted. Like I said, I don't want to take away from the music because the music was great. The vocals was just so fucking good. Yeah. So just a perfect accompaniment to these songs. And yeah, super cool. Loved it. I don't know what else they've released because this was 2009, which is what, 15 years ago.
Yeah, they've got a few albums out.
shit.
So if you just want to go through albums alone, give me a moment here, and I'm going to drag it up.
Oh,
with things.
About
a
3 or
few.
4, I think. Yeah.
I think
Oh,
4 from memory. What have we got here? They have it's 4 Hands High, 2004 apparently. So maybe I'm wrong on this being the debut album. But anyway, everyone regards Down to the Bone being like
is this the debut? Is this the?
I think so.
I thought it was, but it might not be. But anyway, Electric Mary Down to the
I
Bone.
got 1 or 2 CDs in there. I'm not sure which ones.
Yeah. I don't know. This one is the one that everyone goes to. But you got Down to the Bone. You got Alive in Eldorado, a live album. You got Mother, the 2019 album. They got a few EPs in the way as well. So they've got quite a few.
And they're Melbourne, right? They're Melbourne band.
Yeah.
Melbourne band.
Cool.
Yep. So I might
Have all of you guys seen them live?
Yeah, I've seen them a couple of times live.
Yeah.
Quite a
No, I
few
don't
times
think
they're
I
early.
have. No, I don't
Yeah.
think I have.
They're fucking great live.
Okay. Everyone with Jeff.
I
Have
saw
they
them
ever
open for
played-
Alice Cooper, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's a big
Yeah.
gig. Oh,
yeah,
They
it was.
have done a lot of those. They've done.
They got a lot of
festivals in
opening
Europe.
slots.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen them headline
Awesome.
local gigs and I've seen them open for support bands.
They're certainly the caliber is up there. They're
Mm.
more than worthy.
They're saying they're
Yeah.
calling it a day next year. I mean, they're
Yeah.
like one of the pinnacle Melbourne bands.
Yep. They're
Oh,
wrapping it up.
that's a
I
shame.
think
I've
Rusty's
heard
moving
them-
into producing, I think. If that's what
Rusty's
you
been getting
mentioned.
involved behind the scenes. Yeah, he's been helping Jimmy, for example, do some songwriting and performances on Jimmy's solo stuff. So
Yeah.
he's getting involved behind the scenes a fair bit, which is
Nice.
good to see. A man of his experience shouldn't be lost to the
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
world as far as I'm
No.
concerned.
He was a good
Who's
I
Rusty?
interviewed
Is
him a few years
the
ago.
singer?
He's the
or-
singer, yeah. Rusty Brown, singer.
Such a good
Yep.
singer. Oh my god, what an
I
actual.
first
bloke,
heard of them from when I played a gig that was the promoter of the gig, Jax Peters. She said, "Have you heard of Electric?" And I'm like, "No." And so I made myself aware really quickly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was years and years ago, like 2012 or something like that.
Yeah,
So I was
Jax
like,
Peters was promoting back then, yeah.
Yeah, so because she was the one that got us to play in the gig, she asked us to play in this gig, and so we did. I forget the Boogeyman Bar or something.
Yeah,
Something
sounds
like
right,
that.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but we did. So anyway, but that was where I first heard them, and I was like, "Fuck, these guys are good." I had no idea who they were. So
Yeah. I've had the pleasure of seeing them quite a few times actually, and interviewing Rusty a few times as well as so has Dave, so has Jimmy. There's been a few interviews around over the years with Rusty. Always great to chat to as well. He's a really interesting character with a lot of great insights. So if you get a chance to pick his brain a bit, do so. One of those things. Let's quickly do any additional thoughts on this one. Conrad, did you have anything you wanted to say about Electric Mary?
Just that they're solid, good, Australian rock band. Really good band. I've seen them quite a few times over the years, and never let me down. They're always really good. And you've got what's his name, Erwin Thomas.
Yeah, also known as Jack Jones. Yep.
Yeah, also now he was with Southern. Was he with Southern Sons?
Southern Sons. Yep.
Southern
No
Sons.
shit.
Yeah. He's really quite accomplished guitar player. So he's very, very good player indeed. A lot of feel.
Jack Jones was the front man in Southern Sons, and he ended up moving up. He's under his real name, Erwin Thomas. He played in Electric Mary on this album. You listened to. He played on this album, and was lead
Venom
guitar.
on drums as well. Was Venom on drums?
Venom on drums. Yeah, Venom's a beast.
Yeah, he's a kick-ass drummer. He's brutal. He's amazing. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So,
That's
it's good
rock
people.
royalty.
Yeah.
There's
Straight in
a
rock
few
royalty, definitely.
I had Nathan Cavalieri in the band, I think, for a little bit too, for a short stint, helping him out.
What's he doing with himself? What's he doing with himself?
I don't know what he's doing.
He does a lot of stuff on Twitch, actually. A lot of live streams.
Cool.
He started that during COVID. A friend of mine was
Scooped up
mentioning
by
that.
anybody. Anyone could scoop him up, and he's
I think he's
amazing.
happy to do what he's doing.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Let's get moving. Jeff, any thoughts on Electric Mary? Bless you, Belle.
Bless you,
Thank
Belle.
you.
Yeah, no, other than what I've already said, they're a fantastic band. You know, I regret that I haven't seen them, but I've certainly heard them lots, and I like them a lot. They're really good. Very, very solid. Probably one of the better bands to come from Australia ever, really, rock bands.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Certainly in the last 15 years.
Yeah,
15,
that's
20
it.
years.
Yeah. For
This
sure.
this band to me, just quickly, I'll throw to Dave in a second, but just quickly, just while it's in my head, I've made a note of this one. But remember when Horsehead were all the rage? Everyone was talking about Horsehead every week. Electric Mirror were like the successor to that kind of thing. Electric Mirror, the band that everyone was talking about every single week after Horsehead called it a day. But anyway, Dave, any thoughts you've got on this?
Yeah, fantastic bands. All been mentioned. Seen them live a few times. If the world was different, if Australia actually promoted their local talent, they would be a well-known name.
Yep.
Because, you know, 70s and 80s, Australia, early 90s, we had our bands. They had the Australian sound, and it was marketable to many countries around the world.
Yeah.
Horsehead was kind of like the end of that. And then Electric Mary, they should be. But, you know, this country should be ashamed of itself.
Yeah.
Agree. Yep.
It has nothing to do with talent. It has everything to do with the marketing of the blues band.
Well, the support in
exactly.
the market. Yeah.
You know, Electric Mary 20, 30 years ago would have been all over fucking commercial radio.
They would have been if they had come a decade sooner, they'd have been absolutely fucking massive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely
huge.
Just shows how fucked up things got within a decade. Sad. Amazing band. This is an amazing album. I give this album 9 shots.
Yeah. For me, it's a 10-shot album. I fucking love it. I can't not give it 10 shots to me. I've listened to this thing so many times. It's not funny. I fucking love this band. It's a shame they're calling it a day. But it's been a hell of a ride along the way. This is where it all began in a lot of respects for this band. It's so many goddamn killer songs and killer riffs all over this one. Every moment on this album is glorious as far as I'm concerned. But don't sleep on the rest of their work. The 2019 album Mother, I love that album. It was one of my albums of the year that year. It was in my top 10s. I loved it to bits. But on this album, you got tracks like Let Me Out, 1 in a Million, No One Does It Better Than Me, Gasoline and Guns, Long Way From Home. So many songs across this album are so damn good. And this, to sum it all up, in Rusty's own words, I'm going to quote Rusty here, is rock and roll the way it used to taste. And I think that's a fantastic quote. He's over the years. So yeah, this is up there as an all-time great album as far as I'm concerned. I fucking love this thing to bits. It's 10 shots for me. Joe and I both regularly go back to this album quite often. We both adore this band, adore this album. So it is sad they're calling it, but at the same time, they've got one hell of a legacy to leave behind. Not maybe the largest one in terms of output, but fuck, they've left a mark, and it's a shame. But we will try and tee up a chat with Rusty in some way, shape, or form before that all happens as well to help them out. But if you do get a chance to see them live, do it, because you will not get a chance to do it again. So, and don't miss it, because they are one of the best live bands you'll ever see. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. They are absolutely phenomenal live. If you think the albums are good, live is a different story. Next week, we move on to a different band. We go to Sydney band Reliqua. And Jeff, going to hand it to you next week. You're going to take on the latest album from them, Secrets of the Future, released in May this year. So that'll be Jeff's assignment next week, along with all of us getting some thoughts around things as we go through things. All right, let's get some comments in here. Let's see if anyone's got anything to say about Electric Mary. So Adrian says, sound retro, they're solid, they are very solid. Vinny says, Electric Mary are phenomenal and consistently deliver high-quality shows. There we go. Kieran says, great drumming and Let Me Out. Yeah, that's Venom at his best, mate. Venom was an absolute beast. Vinny says, open it for Def Leppard also. Yes, they did.
Yes.
They did. Craig's here. Hey, all, good to see you. Electric Mary, 8 shots. There we go. Nicole says local tours for Nathan Cavalieri. Wow, okay. That'd be interesting to check out what he's up to these days. Edge Crusher, love Electric Mary, 10 shots from me. And Vinny says it was disappointing to see their track Sweet Mary C get very little airplay on Triple M. I thought they barely received a week's worth on rotation. Yeah, this is the thing about the whole, like, that band there's no reason why they shouldn't be getting, like, if you want to talk about a safe as houses band for Australian rock radio, Electric Mary are it. Like, I don't know how you could not play this band and have any sort of, it won't sound, or it might piss off the tradies. Like, this would go off. Like, yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Fucking tradies will listen to Britney Spears and Rihanna these days.
You know, Triple M's been, as I said before, they've been playing the same shite for the last 40 fucking years.
Yeah. Triple J are no better either.
Have you driven past a tradie recently in the last 10 years? I don't know what the fuck they're listening to, the fucking metrosexuals.
Dave's coming firing shots all night tonight. This is going to be a good one. All right. Let's move on to Dave's favorite bands.
With their
now.
fucking man buns and their glitter beards and their fucking latte soy cafes and their Rihanna flask.
Hey, how to drive because we're going to talk about Aerosmith now, right? I know you're going to get excited because we're going to
All
talk about
right.
Aerosmith.
Yes, real rock.
Yes, that's right. And if you want, it actually is a nice segue going from Electric Mea over to Aerosmith. It actually kind of fits rather nicely.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
What? Player one wins. Please stop pooping inside of your methane gas reduces oxygen for the rest of us. Shitesky. Okay.
That's insightful.
Cheers for sharing.
Wow.
I'm not sure. All right.
The acid, man.
Welcome to the Hard Rock Show. Anything and everything can happen. But now it's time for Fretboard Feud, where we're going over the 1970s Aerosmith albums. We rotate through each week to do an album, pick a song, all that sort of stuff, and then we collar the audience to see what the top 5 audience tracks and see if they match up against our 5 picks of the bunch. Last week we had. I've done a bad thing here. Bill, you may need to help me out here if you
How did you do a bad thing?
I did a bad thing. Actually, give me a
What do I need to open on my laptop?
No, don't worry, I'll get it. It's all good. I'll pull it up.
Okay.
I'm just grabbing it up now. I just need to open up another tab. That's all. All right. So just to get the updates on the scores is what I needed to do there. So what we got here is last week we did Get Your Wings from 1974. I went first with Same Old Song and Dance. Conrad had Pandora's Box. Dave had Trank It to Rollin'. Jeff had Seasons with her. Bill had the Flies. The week before, I'm trying to get to the final. The week before that, Conrad was in front on 50 points. Jeff on 40 points. I was on 30 points. Dave on 20 points. Bill on 10 points. That's where things stood. Then we got into the rotation things. We asked the audience for their top 5. So we went through it and picked our 5 from Get Your Wings. Then we polled the audience for the top 5. Coming in at number 5 from the audience was SOS Too Bad, which none of us picked. So this makes it interesting. Coming in at number 4 was Seasons of Wither, chosen by Jeff.
I'll take it.
Great song.
It is a good song.
Love it.
Because we have to split things, so whichever song has the higher play level gets the split in their favor. Dave got the split this week because Trank It to Rollin' came in 3rd, technically speaking. So even though you both split the points, Trank It to Rollin'. Which means this is going to be an interesting one because number 2 was my choice. Same Old Song and Dance. My choice came in number 2.
What? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
So number one was Lord of the Thighs, as chosen by Bell. So there we go.
Cool.
Which in turn shakes things up a bit in the overall score of things. So Dave is now on 45 points. That's a bit of a jump for Dave there. Then we go to it's a split 60 points for Bell and for Conrad. So Conrad was out in front, but he didn't get any points for his choice of Pandora's Box. So he got 10 points, but no picks from the audience.
Pandora's Box doesn't pay off.
So they're now tied. Jeff is ahead of them by 5 points on 65 points, which means I've now gone from 3rd to 1st with 70 points, which makes things interesting because as things rotate through, Bell gets to go first this week on the album that we're talking about tonight, which is Toys in the Attic from 1975. So again, whoever goes last the week before goes first this week. So Bell, you got the most popular choice last week. Can you back it up by picking the most popular choice or whichever way you're going to go on this one? But anyway, you get first call. So what song are you taking from Toys in the Attic?
Yeah, I like to think that this is a bit of a no-brainer. But who the fuck knows, right? Like, we've been surprised before by audience choices. Yep. So I'm still going to go with my head because I've got a head and a heart choice here.
Yep.
It's more of a heart, like more of a body because I just feel this song, which is Round and Round. But I'm not going to pick that. I'm going to pick Walk This Way because I'd be fucking idiot if I didn't. And I love it anyway. It's a great song. So, Walk This Way, please.
Cool.
Nice. All right. I have for this album, like, Dave, I don't know if you agree, but you forget how good this album is. Like, you start
No, I never forget how good this is.
I always forget. because for me it starts off a little bit flat, but then it just fucking launches and it doesn't come back after it launches. It just fucking goes bang.
Yeah, it's all about side B, this album.
Once it kicks off, like, fuck me. This album has two of my all-time favorite songs, so this is a week where I'm actually happy to go second, kind of a thing, and I get to pick either way.
Yeah.
But it sounds good today too. It's aged incredibly well, this one, and in a band that's had a career full of high points, this album is one of those high points for sure. This is a great album, but I'm going to go with the other. Or maybe I don't know if this is your other choice there, Belle, but I'm going to take Sweet Emotion off the board.
Not surprised.
I love that song. That was my number one.
Yeah.
I wasn't that on my rock nights. I play that.
Yeah, that's my favorite song.
Yeah, such a fun song to play. Killer riff.
And I as soon as I knew I was going second, I was like, okay, I'll be happy. I was going to take, if I couldn't get Sweet Emotion, I was going to go with Walk This Way. So I was happy either way. But I was hoping kind of to get Sweet Emotion. So, Belle, you've helped me out there a little bit. So,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. All righty. Conrad, you get the third pick. What are you taking off the board?
Shit. I mean, I've maybe round and round.
Good choice. It's a fucking banger.
Yeah, I can take
there's
that.
no.
I think I'll have to have that. I think, yes.
Nice.
All right.
So Conrad has taken round and round, which is nicely done there. I'll get my notes sorted out in some way, shape, or form here. Hold on. Alrighty, which means Dave, next call belongs to you.
You know, looking at the track list, I can see two stories associated with two of these songs. One was from Steven Tyler's book, and that's he was in the same hotel as Joan Jett. So he rocked up in his robe and nothing underneath, knocked on the door. She opens the door and she's like, nah, sorry, Steven, I'm not into the big 10-inch. And closed the door on him. Kill these ego. That's not the song I'm picking. The other one is I just finished Joe Perry's book, which is fucking amazing. It's very insightful, very detailed. When they got back together in the mid-'80s, they went out to this person's place who had all the Aerosmith stuff, and they're having a listening party. And they're listening to this album. And You See Me Crying comes on. Steven's like, my God, this song's hot. We should cover it.
That's
Joe
right.
Perry's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's us.
Yeah.
And Steven's like, where was I? Yeah. Where he was like, where was I? And Joe's like, you're in the booth singing. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the ballad. You See Me Crying. I love that song. It's a great close to the album. It's a beautiful song. So going with that.
Yeah.
All right, which means on this album, Jeff, there's still some fucking good choices.
Oh yeah, but it's funny because obviously I knew I was going last. I knew the songs that I wanted were not going to be there, so I had to steel myself for that. But the song that I really, really wanted is still there, and that's Big 10-inch.
Yeah,
record. Yes. That's a great song. I love that song.
For it's not a very good choice, turn of phrase, but I do have a soft spot for that song.
Well, dude, if it's soft and it's still 10 inches, congratulations.
Yeah.
It's a shower, not a grower. But anyway.
Oh, God.
Go for it, man.
Why are we here again?
Yeah, we're already here. But yeah, there we go. So just to quickly recap, Belle went first this week and has Walked This Way. I went second with Sweet Emotion. Conrad took Round and Round. Dave took You See Me Crying. And Jeff with Big 10-inch record gets the last pick, but that means he gets to go first next week, where we are going to go through Rocks from 1976. That's the next one. You get to go first next week, Jeff. So another pretty good album coming up.
Good album. Yeah,
not really any bad ones in this period in time. So we're going to go through the other two albums. We're going to do Draw the Line and Night in the Ruts after that. And then we're going to do a Build-A-Band again. We haven't done a Build-A-Band for a while. So we're going to do Build-A-Band, and then we'll do Thin Lizzy's albums after that. So that's pretty much the rest of the year lining up there. What do we got here? Trini says tradies tend to identify as men these days, Dave. Player One Wings I have Angel Wings. Well, I'm glad you do. Craig says Sweet Emotion for the win.
Fuck the world.
Adrian says great choice, Belle, with Walk This Way. Craig says suck my bitch 10-inch if it doesn't. So there we go. Player One says Metallica, bro. Well, we do talk about them quite a bit. They'll be coming up next week, believe it or not. Adrian says my favorite tracks are Walk This Way and Toys in the Attic. Yeah, I'm surprised Toys in the Attic didn't get a nod, but anyway. Michael says Walk This Way, my favorite, great album. So there we go. Basher says bought Toys in the Attic in the day and love it. So I've been listening to it now. So there you go. It's good to go back and revisit these ones. Players talking about beer jerkers versus tear jerkers versus Tears for Fears. Oh, jolly day. So there we go. I don't know what's going on there. Followed up with Puka versus Freigar. Okay. You have fun there. I have no idea what's going on. It's just one of those nights, obviously. Alrighty. So for that part being done, we'll wait for Dave to get back here in a moment. But Craig says round and round, no more, walk this way, and Adam's Apple round out the top 5.
Yeah.
But there is no wrong answers here in Almighty album. That is the true point here. There are no wrong answers on that album. I think it's actually one of those ones where you wonder how much the spread of good songs is going to sort of take away points from the clear choices as well, kind of thing. You do get that whole thing where it can split off points that would otherwise go to certain songs. So we'll see what happens. We'll do the poll in the coming days, so make sure you follow our socials and you'll see that poll come through soon enough. Alrighty. It is time now to move on to the guessing game, which is where the segment we're calling the guessing game. The way we're going to do this, I've changed it up. We were doing things in runs of like, who am I, album edition, who am I this, and the band and the person. And then Belle reminded me last week that we haven't done Guess the Song for a while. And it's like, oh, shit, you're right. I forgot about that one. So what I've decided to do here, which I hope everyone got the memo on, is that I'm just going to rotate in turns. And then when it's your turn, all you have to do is do one of the games. So you can do your own. You can do a Who Am I, which is album, person, or band, or you can do a Guess the Song. Whichever one you want to do it, just specify which way you're playing the game as we go through things, and that way it makes it easy for everyone. That way, if anyone's got a tight week, you can just do a Guess the Song if you want to as well. So it's going to rotate through week on week, whoever's turn it was, which means that, Jeff, it's over to you on this slightly revamped format of the show. So which game are you playing this week?
I had lots of time and then I didn't. So I decided to go with Guess the Song because I didn't have to do anything homework.
It is the ultimate cheat code, isn't it?
It is the ultimate cheat, and I'm sorry, guys, but I had to pick a song that none of you fucker guys are going to get.
Here we go. Fighting words, man.
Is dropped. Yes.
Yeah. If you fuck, where's Kevin? I need Kevin.
It's a Rush song, isn't it?
Rush. Yes, it's a Rush song for Dave. Yes. Dave would, fuck if he got it.
If I get it, I'm gonna
drop it on air. If I did a Rush song and Dave got it.
I killed the Canadian.
Oh my god, you killed King.
Your buddy bastard. All right. Here we go. You guys ready?
All right. We get 10 clues. We get. Oh no, sorry, don't get.
You don't.
Ignore me. That's for Who Am I? Don't worry.
Yes, that's right.
But we get one guess each.
I'm gonna read lyrics,
and you lose, you're out. So
when you're out,
race is on between us and the audience.
People at home, if you guys are playing along, I hope you are. Don't Google. Just see if you get it.
Yeah.
All right. The morals of life and the perils of death. Take the wrong way out, running out of breath. Meet thy match in the afterlife. Suppress the demons that plague the night. A tortured mind is a safe place to go, but the truth lurks down in the dark below. Step inside my inquisitive mind. Are you scared of what you just might find? See myself in the hall of mirrors, a different shape every step I take, a different mind every step of the line. But in the day, they are all mine. Laughing sorrow inside your head. Can't get out, just feel the feeling of dread. I know this burden's a heavy load, a dark mistake, never-ending road. And then the song, I'm not going to do this, but it goes, whoa, 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 and for about fucking 20 times, and then I'm not doing that, okay? But you can get it in your head.
It sounds like New Kids on the Block.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
In the Mirrorverse, yeah.
The Blackjack King and the Red Queen clash. The artful dodger, he counts his stash. The Joker's wild like an impish child, while Madame Fortune, she awaits inside. The good luck charm is overkill. The tired old soldier says, fire at will. Planes overhead go search and destroy the ones below the human decoy. And then, whoa, whoa. I told you guys would never get this. Fucking
I know this. I know.
Boy George lyrics. You guys just don't listen to Boy George enough. All right. Meanwhile, we play the waiting game. The clock is struck, the horse is lame. And when we think that this is done, chance your luck, a 4-leafed one. You hedge your bets, the battle's lost. To wait in vain, the court to count the cost. The thin-edged line between good and bad, and cast the luck, be happy, sad. Whoa, 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 20 times. And then it says, I need somebody to save me. And then it mentions the name of the song, which I won't say. People don't want the truth. Look in their eyes and you send them away. Then the name of the song, Fate and Hypocrisy. Burden's a heavy load, there is no doubt. And then the name of the song, All Out of Luck Again. How many chances can anyone have? Name of the song, Treachery is out to win. They're in the wrong place and the wrong time. And then, whoa, all the way out. And then, I need somebody to save me. That's it. I told you. I knew I'd get it.
It's proggy.
It was tough. I knew I had to be tough because it was so fucking. I was like, well, I run out of time. I got to make it tough.
It sounds like I don't know it, but I don't know why I think it's a Maiden song.
Dokken song or
it's not Maiden.
It's not Maiden.
No, it's not Maiden. It's too short to be. It's too long to be a Dokken song. I'm thinking fucking.
Oh dear.
Want me to keep? I'll just go back and read the lyrics again.
No,
I'm feeling Blackie Lawless.
No. Think it like
Right.
something. It's something like fucking Pain of Salvation or Fate's Warning or fucking even King Crimson. Something really proggy, really obscure.
I'm gonna count down 10, and when I get to 1, we're done. I win.
You're gonna get the audience.
I'll see if the comments come through. I'm not going to read the comments because I don't want to spoil it for myself in case I don't
All
want
right.
to have that.
10, 9,
No, I got nothing.
3.
Is it Camelot?
Is it what?
Camelot. Like, is it the band?
You know, it's funny. I went through Camelot. I did,
Okay.
but it's not. I honestly did. I went through because I'm thinking, if I pick Camelot, nobody listens to Camelot but me. So.
It's more proggy than synth, and then symphony metal.
Well, you know what?
I'm gonna bow out. Then I can't get this.
Everyone else bowing out.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I got no idea.
I'm gonna give, even though she didn't get it, she named the band.
Oh, it was Maiden. I just
Wow.
had a feeling.
The Red and the Black.
From fucking Book of Souls.
Yes, yeah.
There you go.
Great
It sounded
song.
familiar. It was long because
I knew it.
I wasn't gonna do the whoa. I wasn't gonna fucking do
Motherfucker, I saw that live last time they were here.
I've never heard that album, but I just
I
don't know.
Wow, there you go.
Well,
Let's see if anyone in the audience got there.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome. You got that. As far as I'm concerned, you got it.
Yeah.
Thank
No, Craig tells me I know
I have
this.
to listen to that song now.
Yeah.
Thing.
That's a great song. It's a great album.
Yeah, it's a great album. Yeah.
Basher says my
It was
brain
fantastic.
hurts.
Yeah.
Craig says I was thinking Book of Souls. There's another one, and that
He was on the right track.
And before we got second innings, player one said you killed Jack Skeleton, you bastards. Blasty cannons.
Wow.
All right. So that was fun. So next week.
That was tricky.
It was well done, Jeff. Actually,
Sorry,
genuinely
it was a tough one. It was tough.
That-
no,
yeah.
but it was one of those ones where it was people in the comments saying the same thing. As soon as we start off, like, I know this, I know I've known this.
Yeah,
We've reviewed it and
It's
stuff.
familiar, but not.
maybe, but
Yeah.
It's not something you've heard for 20 years, but it's really familiar because it's the band that you would have heard everything that they've done.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I got.
You know
I
what
just
we
got
should
that
do?
Maiden
We should-
vibe.
It
You
was
know,
actually the Warhols because that's what made
the
them do.
Warhols and the
I
talk
know.
about the planes, the aeroplanes, because I know that
Yeah,
was that a Bruce album?
Yeah, he's on
Book
it.
of Souls.
Yeah.
Is it
He,
Bruce?
writes
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
He actually
2015
plays
it came out.
keyboard on Book of Souls, I think.
Ooh.
Walk in the Clouds. He plays
Yeah,
the
Walk in the
keyboard.
Clouds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Remember that one?
But that song that Jeff did, that they played that live, and that was when I really appreciated the actual song because live, that's fucking smokes the album.
I think
Damn, that's cool.
I think Book of Souls is a better album than Senjutsu, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. Empire of the Clouds.
Senjutsu is great, but Book of Souls is fucking fantastic. Of course, people hate because the songs are 17 minutes long and they don't have the attention span.
Well, Empire of the Clouds is the longest Maiden song ever at 18 minutes. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
that's cool. More Maiden. You can't go wrong with more Maiden. More of that thing you like.
Oh, here we go. Kevin's finally here. Greetings, kids. Good to see you, man. Hopefully,
you gotta rewind, Kevin. You gotta rewind. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta rewind it and play Guess the Song, man.
About 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. I go. All right, I'm going to quickly try and just do something here. We've got a couple of minutes up our sleeve, so I'm just going to quickly just give me a moment here to add something in. Actually, can I do it? This is interesting. 4 string. I'm just going to go through and do this. There it is. Open that one. I'm going to add this one in and see if this works out, because this is the thing that Conrad was talking about before. So just to quickly overlay this onto the top of everyone there, that's the Darth Vader. James Earl Jones.
New York. I mean, I think it's really nice that New York did that for him. It's beautiful that New York did that for him.
Yeah,
that's a fitting tribute to him, and named a theater after him as well on Broadway.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, named a theater on Broadway after him as well. Now James Earl Jones Theater. On Broadway. Yeah.
Nice. You ever watched CNN, the news? You know, when you hear this is CNN, that's James Earl Jones. Yeah.
Wow. There you go. There
wasn't there a Simpsons episode? I think Lisa was like playing this. There was a saxophone with that saxophone instrument, and James Earl Jones was in the clouds as for each of his like most famous characters. Like I think Darth Vader, Simba's not Simba's dad, Lion King dad, and
Mufasa. Yeah,
Mufasa.
Hey, Eddie Murphy's dad in Coming to America.
Yes. Yes.
Whoever throws roses at my son's feet will answer to me.
I just watched a movie with him in it about 2 weeks ago and I had to buy it because that's one of my favorites from years ago. And I don't know if it holds up to this day, but it's still an entertaining movie. It's Sneakers.
Robert
Redford and Robert Redford and River Phoenix. And James Earl Jones is in the end of it.
That's right.
He's not going for that movie in years. That's a good movie.
It is
comes in and they're all claiming shit, and he's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, what do you want?"
And then want the girl's phone number.
Yeah, and she goes like,
"You can have anything you want, and you want her number."
Bang.
Good face. We'll try.
But it's funny.
No, it's one hell of a career, one hell of a life.
The chick holding the gun. I want her phone number.
That tribute was very nice. So thank you for sharing that with us, Conrad. I appreciate that. It was good to get in there, and hope everyone else out there enjoys that too. Craig said you should listen to it, Bell. It's the closest sounding thing to classic era Maiden than anything since Seventh Son. So there we go, back to the album.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
But fuck, everything they did since Bruce rejoined the band was fantastic.
It was good. Yeah, I agree with that. Kevin says, I'll try to get in when I can. I know you're always late at the moment. You've got a few things on. I will miss the show again next week for another Clutch show. Let Connor know that Clutch were great in Atlantic City, New Jersey last week. Blast Tyrant in full is great live. So there we go. Nicely done. You actually made Conrad jealous. That's a first. Well done.
Now you know how it feels, motherfucker. Take your designer shirt and fuck off.
Yeah, TJ's gone. You can go wrong with more Maiden, more albums than Mr. Bailey. Well, yeah, let's not go there.
Hey, X Factor's good. Virtual 11 sucks.
Vinny says, I'd post a link up of an amateur artist who put together a Star Wars piece that's gone viral. I think Bell had heard it from Discord a couple of months ago. You'd enjoy it, Conrad. Skin-tingling stuff that'll smash it out of the ballpark for you. So there we go. And Kevin's gone, I tried. That's good. Well done. I'm glad you did. Player One says, I grew up with Maiden. Eddie was a better influence on me than my own pops. There we go. That's a good one. Eddie is the ultimate mascot and ultimate influence. Do like a battle thing with the best mascots one day. That'd be fun to do as well. What do we got here? One more. I'll get to that in a minute. So then we get into the main event of the evening as we go through things. Oh, here we go. What's this? Oh, wow. Okay. I'm not going to try and drag that in, Jeff. Unfortunately, I'll do that one later on if I get time to. At the end, I want to keep things moving along here. We're going to go into King of the Riff now. Time to get to the main event of the evening because this is going to be fun. We have an audience tree to get through and our tree to get through. So there's two little battles here to go through. For us, it is Alice in Chains Dirt versus Mötley Crüe Shout at the Devil. The audience has Alice in Chains Dirt versus Iron Maiden Killers. Speaking of Iron Maiden tonight. So we're going to do our battle first, then we'll do the audience results and just sort of see how things shake out because next week is a very big week. So for us, Alice in Chains Dirt was the 3rd seed out of 12, the 1992 album, 13 tracks, 58 minutes. Mötley Crüe Shout at the Devil is the 11th seed out of 12. It's actually done pretty well to go this far. 1983 release, 11 tracks, 35 minutes. What do we got here? Let's start. Let's go Jeff first on this one. Where do you land on this one? Basically, pick a winner and see how things play out. But Jeff, you're first. Yeah. Which one wins for you?
I was gonna write a bunch of stuff, and I thought, no, I have reviewed both of these at length. They're both brilliant albums. They're both really good. They're both emotive. One is a very depressing album, but a brilliant album. The other is a little more bubblegum, a little more carefree at times, a little freer. Obviously, Mötley Crüe's Shout at the Devil. But I think I said it before. I think Mötley Crüe's Shout at the Devil album actually changed the world of music. From there, bands were clamoring to be Mötley Crüe, and there was record companies were signing bands left, right, and center to be Mötley Crüe and try to get the next
say the
album.
same for Alice in Chains with Dirt.
You could, but I don't think as much. I think Alice in Chains was. It was because it was an acquired taste. There's nobody out there. There was a lot of glam bands that came in the wake of Mötley Crüe, but how many bands followed to sound like Alice in Chains? Not a lot because of Lane's unique voice. There was a lot of grunge, but they're not grunge, really. They're not.
No,
but they got lumped into that. They got lumped into that. Yeah. So without further ado, I'm just gonna vote for the album that I think is what should go on, and that's Mötley Crüe Shout at the Devil. Done.
Okay. There we go. 1 down. 4 to go. All right. So 1 for Alice in Chains. Conrad. That's 1 for Mötley Crüe, sorry. I'll get that right. Don't worry. 1 for Mötley Crüe. Conrad, you're up next.
Yeah, I mean, apples and oranges here. This is 2 very different records.
Yeah, very different albums.
Time eras, completely different time periods. But one, I think, is a bit more uplifting than the other, and you know, you got to be in the right headspace for Dirt, I think. So for me, I'm going to take Shout at the Devil on this one as well. I think this is a bit more of a straightforward sort of, more of a rocking sort of uplifting record. Well, that's dark. It's a bit more uplifting.
Coming from a stoner rock band, that's saying a lot.
Only in comparison to Dirt.
Yeah.
So I can't even form words. Conrad, you just voted for something satanic.
No,
You just voted for something satanic.
No, because
you just said Hail Satan. You said it.
Context was authority.
Say it.
Say it alive. Hail Satan.
Whoa, fuck. All right.
Actually, this is a satanic record.
It's not.
It's not.
It's just got a pentagram on the front cover.
It's funny.
I know, but
it's funny.
Attention.
That was shock value, to be honest.
It was a marketing gimmick. That was.
Come on, every satanic band is shock value.
I know. I agree, Dave. I agree. Anyway, let's keep us moving. Bell, I'm going to throw to Bell now. Which way are you going on this one?
Yeah,
If it's one more for Mötley Crüe, it's going to be over. So let's see where this goes. Is it? We're going to go. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Look, I love both the albums, and I thought, how the fuck can I compare these two? Because you're right, like they're so different. Like, so I broke it down into bits and like aspects of the albums to sort of weigh things up to see which came out on top. So vocally, again, hard to compare, but Lane is the better vocalist. I don't think anyone would argue that.
Yep.
But would his vocals suit the songs I'll Shout at the Devil? I think that sounds shitty, but they suit Alice in Chains dirt. That sound
When
weird.
you get AI to do that shit.
No, please no.
Someone will try. Someone will try. Yeah.
Shout.
You sound like a cat imitating Axl Rose, Dave. Like that's
Meow. You could be
Put that
meow.
into
cat in the
AI.
audience, by the way, just not that
Make
cat.
Dave sound
You
like
could be
a
meow.
fucking hell.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway.
guitarists. I feel guilty saying this. Jerry is better, and I feel guilty.
Oh, he is.
I feel
Yeah.
disloyal to Mick because I love Mick, and honestly, I think he's the backbone. And I don't think Mötley Crüe would have survived. I don't think their longevity would have been as far without him just being the solid member.
Yeah.
Just
He was the actual
creating
musician.
the music.
The adults keeping an eye on the kids.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Basically, yeah.
they would have burned out. They would have burned out
Nikki
sooner.
Sixx would have an
But
idea, take it to Mick, and Mick would,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. So there were creatives there, but Mick was the ground. You know, the grounding kind of solid.
The wind
But not the better guitarist. Not the better guitarist. So Alice in Chains win there.
Yeah.
Song composition. Alice in Chains songs are complex and have catchy hooks. Mötley Crüe, they're simpler, but they have, I think, even catchier hooks.
Yeah.
So, you know, that I think that evens out. Lyrically, Alice in Chains beat Mötley Crüe hands down. There's no contest there at all. Both albums have a definite mood about them.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was ever replicated by either band before or after in albums. Those two albums were just, when you think of either band, you think probably more so Alice in Chains. You think
I'd argue Alice in Chains got closer than Mötley Crüe did.
Yeah.
I'd argue that.
That's fair.
Mötley Crüe reinvented themselves almost every album.
Yeah, that's fair too.
Yeah.
Because Dr.
And,
Google's
So on that, although Shout at the Devil wasn't Mötley Crüe's most commercially successful album, which Dr. Feelgood, I think it was still their most popular album, and that was based on some polls that I looked up this week.
Definitely up there.
It is Alice in Chains' most popular and commercially successful album. So there's another win for Alice in Chains. So both albums are a special part of my musical journey and my life in general, and each album brings to mind a particular place I was at when I was listening to them a lot.
Oh, shit.
No.
Fucking
No.
hamster.
Elon clearly is not a fan of what she's saying.
No.
Oh.
He's too busy trying to get in Taylor Swift's pants to do anything right. That's fucking stupid, Elon.
He's a fucking creepy cunt, isn't he?
He is creepy, man. You have
Do we? Does somebody want to sing a song, or Jeff? Do you have another lyric thing that we can do? Or?
Definitely.
I'll just go through here. I'll go to some audience comments for a second. I'll try
Kill
and
some time.
Well, Pat here. Player one here on The Human Centipede is the best film in history. So introspective.
Fuck that! Even I won't watch that shit.
It's introspective. There we go.
Wow.
Tommy Lee is the man. Well, I'd argue Sean Kinney be a better drummer, but hey. Vinny says, just posted a link in Discord for you, Conrad. Another tribute as well, which on that note, I got that other image. I might pull that up now quickly, actually. Just that other image that Jeff sent through was this one here, which if you can see it there is the Darth Vader over the headstone of James Earl Jones, which is a very nice little touch there.
Yeah,
so,
I thought that was nice. Yeah.
It's a nice
I mean,
one
as
there.
much
So I'm
as
sure there'll be...
I see a lot of this stuff online, and everyone keeps talking about Darth Vader and James Earl Jones, associating him with Darth Vader. But I mean, his performance as Stulse of Doom was phenomenal. That to me is his Oscar-winning performance, and he should have got an Oscar for that performance. Because fucking amazing.
Yeah,
so, yeah, absolutely. Especially
Bell's back.
Yes, we have
Bell's
Bell
back.
back.
Hey, Bell. Elon pulled the plug on you. Yeah.
Are you patting? Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, we're patting.
Yeah, that was not ideal. But
no, it's funny because in the context of I was going through audience comments there. So Vinny has put a link in Discord for Conrad to check out. We'll try and find a way to forward it to you. So Jeff, I might need you to go through and forward that to Conrad.
Okay.
The crazed on Conrad's head just exploded when he voted for Mötley Crüe, which is funny in the context of this.
I know. Conrad's a Satanist. Jesus Christ. I'm going to pray for you, man.
Bell.
I am going to get down on my knees and pray.
Bell, you need to take over. So over to you.
Okay.
You were so close to the finish line, weren't you?
I was so fucking close. Anyway, this isn't relevant to my decision, but I realized earlier today that when I was listening to these albums, you know, when I first heard these albums and was just playing them constantly, it was actually a few years after each one came out. So I wasn't listening to Out the Devil in '83 because I was a little kid, but
you're an old man.
I was listening to it a few years later. And same with Dirt. I actually didn't first hear Alice in Chains until about '94, I think.
Okay.
So, you know, I was just thinking about my personal journey and came to that realization.
Well, that's
anyway, so yeah, it suppose it does go to a way to how I feel about each and my choice, I suppose. So, but yeah, on Paper Jet seems to be the better album. It like ticked more boxes as I was going through, but it was a futile exercise because I like Shout at the Devil more. I feel better when I listen to it. I was listening to Dirt today in the car and I couldn't finish it. I had to turn it off because I was like, oh God, this is just, I'm depressed listening. I don't want to listen to it anymore. And I love it. I do. I genuinely love it. I know it backwards, forwards, inside and out. But I didn't want to listen to it today. So I'm going to go with...
You've got to be in the right mood for that one.
Yeah, you do.
I understand that. I do. Well, that puts the nail in Alice in Chains' coffin. They're out of the race now. But let's see. We have two more opinions.
Puts the needle in the arm.
It does. It's the final overdose. But Dave, let's go to you. Get your thoughts on this one and see if we can make it a clean sweep or not, or if it's going to be
okay. Look, obviously, motherfuckers, you know my love and affinity for everything 80s. You see the back of the jacket. Obviously, it is. Where is this shit? I'm in control. Guns N' Roses, but underneath there are the other bands. And obviously Mötley is there. Mötley's there. Okay, so I love this fucking band to bits. I've seen Mötley twice. I haven't seen Alice in Chains, unfortunately. Never got to see them. But love Mötley Crüe to bits. Looks to Kill, obviously, fantastic song. Everything on this album is fantastic. They do have a cover on this album, which would lose a point for me because a cover song is kind of padding unless it's done really well. And Helter Skelter, it's not the best cover in the world now, is it? But ultimately, this is a fantastic album. It really rocks some boats. I do prefer their debut. Their debut is my favorite Mötley Crüe album. I think they kind of stagnated a little bit on this. I think there's more of the better songs on the debut. Whereas you go to Alice in Chains Dirt, and I think the growth from Facelift to Dirt is fucking phenomenal. Everything that they did perfectly on that album, they honed and made better on this album. I own this on CD, vinyl, I have the t-shirt, I have the guitar tab. I don't even own Shout the Devil on CD. I fucking love this album, and I know it's a moody listen, and as far as I fucking hate grunge, I don't consider this band grunge at all. I don't get depressed at all listening to this album. I think it's dark, it's moody, it's very, very honest, it's gritty, but it has that thing that doesn't make it grunge. Everything is done on purpose. Everything has a point. Everything has a reason. Everything is honest, passionate, and just realistic. And it's not a fucking pose. Where so much grunge actually was. It was manufactured. It was such crap. But this is just dark and moody for a reason. And it's just where they were at, their lives that they were living, and the harmonies between Jane and Lane, or Kerry and Lane, were fantastic. It's really weird because I lost my shit last year when Pearl Jam, of all fucking bands, beat Iron Maiden. But with the other alternative of Alice in Chains going against Killers, I would definitely vote for Alice in Chains over Maiden.
Okay.
Absolutely. Over the Killers album. And I'm going to vote for Alice in Chains over Mötley Crüe because I think the growth between debut and second album, which is what this is about, is fucking light years away from what Mötley Crüe did with their second album. This is Alice in Chains, definitely. Fantastic album.
Yeah, and it's funny because I get to go last this week, but the funny thing about it all is that they are, for me, that you can understand whichever way people go. Like I have no problem like with it.
Yeah, both albums are fantastic.
Yeah,
that's it. I found
you know
this one
out of all the songs and all these, Wood, that song is fucking brilliant. That wins any fucking.
Well, it's the most popular song on the Dirt album when it comes to the streaming count.
Yeah, I love that song. I used to sleep with that on repeat.
More streams than the Rooster.
Yeah, more streams than Rooster.
Yeah, Wood.
Yep,
that could be me. I love that song. I had the CD on repeat overnight when I was a teenager. I would sleep that song for fucking months.
Yep. This battle was one of those ones that you look at the roster and you go, fuck, I hope that doesn't happen. And it's one of the ones that did happen because I love both these bands to death. People that know me will know how much I love both these bands.
You sleeping on the couch tonight, mate?
No, Jody's at the other house, so we'll see.
She won't know.
She won't know until tomorrow. But that's because we both love both these bands, but Jody has a deeper affinity for Mötley Crüe. I probably lean more towards Alice in Chains, personally speaking, but we both love both bands. It's funny that comment was made last week, I think by Bell, that you could almost make an argument that this is a band from an era that probably killed the other era the bands belongs to in this one here. So we'll get the next generation killing the old generation in this battle here. I think that for both these albums, they're both genuine staples of their respective eras. Like if they're almost required listening both of them for the 90s and for the 80s. Both household names, both real icons in their individual, like their musical worlds. And like I said, it's one of those ones I dreaded because you look at the roster and go, fuck, like this is going to suck. And then I put them on and I was actually listening to them in the car. Jody and I were doing some stuff and I put them on in the car and put them up and I've gone, this is going to be really hard this week. And like, she didn't say anything about sleep on the couch and that, but even she agreed because she knows how much I love both bands anyway. It's like, it's just not going to be an easy choice this week. I find it really hard to fault either album to begin with. One in Mötley Crüe is probably a bit leaner, a bit meaner possibly as well in some respects, but it's more directly aggressive. But the other one in Alice in Chains is more of a masterclass on emotive depth and expression if you get into it. I've seen both bands, both with Jody. One of the favorite moments for us is seeing Mötley Crüe perform On With The Show, which is one of Jody's favorite songs from the debut album, I think, from memory. And that was because she had the nickname Frankie because she kept playing that fucking song over and over again. That's how when she was a kid.
Yeah, he was talking about Nicky was writing about himself.
Yeah, but she had Nicky Six posters on the walls, the whole fucking lot. And so that, but for me, seeing both bands, like that was a special moment for her hearing that song played live. We've only seen it once with them. We've seen them a couple of times, so that was the only time we saw them with that play that song was on the farewell tour. But I've seen Alice in Chains with Jody a couple of times as well, but also with Jimmy as well, which for people who know Jimmy know how big of a fan he is of Alice in Chains. So I've seen both. I'm happy for either band to go through. I'm not going to be disappointed either way here, but it's funny because Bell went through a process very similar to what I did to actually work out which way this goes for me. I ended up going, I can't split the album, so let's split the talent, if that makes sense. That's the way it sort of worked for me. And there's undeniable talent in both these bands. Like there is absolute talent, but I think you're deluded if you think that they're both equally talented as each other.
No, absolutely.
I think that's been discussed here. Like Lane Staley, much better vocalist than Vince Neil. Jerry Cantrell is a better guitarist than Mick Mars. Mike Starr, yes, better bass player than Nicky Six. And Sean Kinney is a shitload better drummer than Tommy Lee. Yes. Tommy Lee has all the appeal and all that sort of stuff, but if you watch the way Sean Kinney plays and what he brings to that band, Tommy Lee is great.
I often said this about Tommy Lee. He's flashy, but that doesn't make him good.
Yeah.
Being flashy doesn't make him good.
Yeah. If you want to go for technical...
He's a good drummer. He's good.
Yeah, it's not saying he's bad.
Yeah.
But if you were to put them in a drum battle side by side, I think we all know
Yeah.
way
And like the last 10 years, he's using a lot of fucking samples. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I think that just on I had to go that way. That's how it had to split it for me. So I had to put it down on the talent and the performances in that regard. Because whilst Mötley Crüe had great performances on Shout at the Devil, I think that the performances of each individual on Dirt are better. So I think the better album on paper and when you listen to it and also the way it speaks to me, it was really hard because I love both albums. But fam, I'm with Dave. I'm going Alice in Chains Dirt on this one.
Yeah.
I just think that the talent, the performances, where Mötley Crüe
Overall, it's a better album.
Mötley Crüe have that raw energy. You can't deny them, and normally they'd win for me. But I just think the depth and breadth of the performances across Dirt are just on a whole new level.
It hits on so many fucking levels.
Yeah, and I know that for most of
saying that, it has something to do with the era as well. As I think the era that it was written in.
Well, I fucking hate the 90s. I made that no secret.
It just suited the mood.
Yeah.
Did it suit the mood of the 90s, or did it create the mood of the 90s? I don't know.
The 90s was already there. The 90s was already there by the time this album came out.
That's why it was 91. And
yeah, that's an interesting
92. No.
It was 91, wasn't it? It was 91.
But
yeah, we already had Nevermind 10.
Yeah, it was 92.
92. So we already had Nevermind 10 and Super Unknown.
Yeah.
So it's
Super Unknown was
Nevermind.
Super Unknown. So hang on, Bad Motorfinger. Wasn't that? When was that?
I fucking hate Soundgarden. So whichever album came first.
92.
It's a shit band.
Yeah. No, Dave, you're wrong.
They are Soundgarden were fucking crap. I never liked them. They were fucking horrible.
Here we go.
Come on.
All right,
Chris
I'm gonna get
Cornell is the best.
He's a good singer. He just writes shit for
He
songs.
shits all over.
Yes.
Who doesn't? Have you
He's a good singer. He's a good singer. He's a shit songwriter.
Soundgarden, Audio Slave, solo stuff. Fucking great songs.
I haven't heard his solo stuff because I hate Soundgarden. I didn't like Audio Slave, so I didn't bother with his solo stuff.
His solo stuff is fucking brilliant.
I'm sure it's great. He's a great singer, but as far as fucking Soundgarden goes, he writes shit songs.
Don't know if I'd go.
All right, well,
they didn't do a lot for me.
No, I would not.
Put a pin in that one, I think. That's
not a battle. Release the grunge special we did, man. That was fun.
Yeah, that was sure, boy. That we did that live with an audience, and boy, did that get some heat.
I don't think that was grunge. Okay, me.
Yeah, I rocked up dressed up glam.
Yeah,
that was grunge. So you got to fucking.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking. That was brutal. That one actually. But yeah, so that does bring that round for us to a close. So it's 3-2 again. But at the same time, I do want to make one comment about the. I understand why people feel a particular need to be in a mood or a headspace to listen to Dirt. I think I'm the same as Dave in that I don't need to be in that.
I don't. If I'm happy, it makes me happy. If I'm sad, it helps. It's the only grunge album that doesn't make me want to split my fucking wrist.
Well, for me, if I'm in a good mood, it brings me down.
Okay.
Really? That's the only album that helps me. I get the whole.
I'll enjoy it to an extent musically, but then it weighs. It weighs. Maybe
it's a lot of heavy themes.
It is.
It's a fucking adult album. Like the whole album was all about drugs and being fucking high and.
No, it was not all of it. Rooster was about understanding bad in Vietnam.
Yeah,
obviously
for the most part.
But most of it really was, and
most of it was.
Yeah, it's hard to relate to.
It's hard to relate to. That's right. That's right.
You don't have to be a drug addict to relate to being in a dark place in your life.
No, you don't. But.
And the way it's done, there's a beauty in it. We all love fucking darkness. I mean, from like whatever black metal shit we listen to.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love the dark.
It's angsty. It's angsty in a way that I can't relate to now.
But there's so much darker shit that people release these days, from black metal to fucking like I want to slit my wrist, fucking dark Kim Dracula shit. This is passionate. Everyone goes through really dark shit. It's honest and it's real. It's not a fucking porn.
All right. Well, we're gonna put a pin in this conversation because we're gonna get to the rest of the show. We can keep going round and round, but basically it's 3-2. Mötley Crüe goes through for us, which is fine. All right, let's do a quick snap poll here because we're going to do the audience poll in a second now. So the audience had Alice in Chains, Dirt versus Iron Maiden, Killers. That was the battle for the audience this week.
Killers.
Bell, quick.
Yeah.
Which one would you go with? Would you go with Dirt or Killers if it was the other way?
Killers.
Killers. All right. Conrad.
Killers.
Killers. All right. Jeff.
Killers.
Dave.
Alice in Chains.
I'm the same.
Easily.
3-2 again. Fuck you all.
It's pretty much like
Any other grunge band that would be Maiden, obviously, but fucking Dirt, yeah.
Well, it's funny because
I'm still pissed off that Pearl Jam beat fucking Maiden.
Our little snap poll here was pretty close to the result that was had in the audience one here. Because
I don't get it because the first Pearl Jam album, that's fucking depressing and boring.
Okay, we're not getting into Pearl Jam. That's way off topic.
That makes me want to slip my wrist.
That's
so
a whole different
boring.
thing, Dave. We're not going there. All right, so just for the record here, Alice in Chains lost to Iron Maiden, Killers, with about 60% of the vote going to Killers as well. So it was very similar to what we were talking about here tonight. There's very same sort of ratio. So in this respect, in both cases, Alice in Chains is eliminated, which makes next week a little more. What do we got here? So for us, we get rid of Dirt now. So I got to just quickly do this for a bit
Jeff's
of
gone.
because, whoa. Okay, now Jeff's gone. What the fuck's going on tonight? What are you all doing? We're just like having an epidemic of dead
excuse. I don't know.
Okay.
What's Jeff's excuse?
Jeff, what the fuck? IT man, what the hell?
I don't know what the fuck happened.
Where
Anyway,
does the IT man call for help with his IT?
We just off and on again.
yeah.
Boss, it doesn't work now.
I got to call in sick because the computer won't turn on. All right, my computer. Anyway, you're calling in sick because the computer's sick. All right. All right. So this makes it interesting because we tied off a loose end in Alice in Chains. They're no longer in it. The third set has been knocked out, which means that next week becomes the big week because next week we've got the last 3 rounds remain. So do 3 rounds in one to knock things over. It's the finale next week. We are at that point. We have done all the albums, so it's time for the finale.
What's left?
So these are the battles remaining. Next week for us, it's going to be Ride the Lightning versus Slave to the Grind. That's for us.
Oh!
For the audience, it's Ride the Lightning versus Rainbow Rising.
Oh, fuck off. It's got to be Metallica.
That's one battle. The other one is Led Zeppelin 2. For us, it versus Shout at the Devil. For the audience, Led Zeppelin 2 goes against Killers.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
The winners of those two, we do a snap finale to see which one we think wins.
Okay.
Well, I thought this was going to come down to Slaves of the Grind versus Metallica because they're obviously the best two of the bunch.
But that's why you seed them out that way. 1 and 2. Well,
yeah.
Zeppelin, so you don't really want them facing each other early, so they split out and then they go to the final round kind of thing. So things are split out. So that's what's going to be coming up next week. So next week is the epic finale. We'll need to be on point for that one because there's going to be some opinions thrown around, I'm sure.
You think?
I think, yeah. All right, let's get some audience comments in here before we go to the wrap up of tonight's show. Adrian says, in my opinion, Jerry Cantrell is totally underrated as a guitar player. Lane Staley's one of a kind. I completely agree, Adrian. I completely agree.
Yep.
Kieran says, Mick Mars' greatest riffs are on Shout. Probably true, actually. Michael says, I agree, Adrian, 100%.
Yep.
Craig says, all of a sudden, Axel sounds good, Dave, when he did the cat impression.
You wouldn't like that.
Yeah, I know. Player 1 says, Shot in the Dark was a good one back in the day. Ozzy agreed. Shot in the Dark was a good one. Michael, I love the old
I like it.
Facelift is good too. What about Home Sweet Home? Not on these albums. So it's a good song, though. Love that song, just not on these albums. Michael says, put another $2 coin in, Bell, for the instant when I drop that on you. I think Bell's timer just ran out. We're going to get a few comments here. Bash the devil. Vinny says Tasmanian dial-up cracked it again, or cast it again.
Right out of time.
Says, maybe had hope as a kid listening to that song, Home Sweet Home. Yes, I can understand that because Home Sweet Home is a very beautiful, beautiful piece of music. Adrian says, Bell left us with a cliffhanger. Craig says, please don't start again from the beginning bell. No, we don't do that.
Wasn't that boring, was it?
I know.
Maybe.
When we were padding, that's a cool picture of Darth Vader from Adrian. Jake says, such a different musical style of albums. I'm glad I'm not reviewing and picking between these two albums. Conrad, God forgives you. There we go from Jake of Audio Rain. So there we go. Too Fast for Love. Yes, that's another great song as well from Player One. Adrian says, I want that as a shirt, that Darth Vader over the tombstone. Well, there you go. Well, we can put it in Discord or something, I guess.
I've got a cool Darth Vader shirt. Oh, shit. I should go and get it.
You can get it next week.
Or wear it next week.
Yeah.
I'll do
Player
that.
says, Cinderella was another goodness band from the 80s. Yes, they were a very good band in the 80s. What did we? Michael says, "Geez, Andrew, have not seen you twitching during one of these before. Your body language shows you love for Alice in Chains. Wonder how you will vote." Well, there you go. You found out in the end, but yeah, it was hard. Alice in Chains Dirt was a drug that helped me through my teen years. I think a few people will relate to that. Player One,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
lies.
I need that fucking album so much.
CD, yeah.
Kieran says, remember running through Maya at Dandenong to get Mötley tickets in '89? Total chaos with people falling over, running over beds, etc. Yep, would have been fucking madness back then. Totally agree with Dave from there. Jake says, Andrew, thanks for finally getting that thing done. Honored and humbled. Love you guys. Sorry it took so long, man.
Yes, man.
I got there in the end. It's just one of those things. I've actually finally started to make things up where I can actually reset my schedule to get things like that out there. So I'm sorry it took so long, genuinely, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Player One said Carcass was not a great band, but that's metal. They are a great band, and we've had a lot of love for their albums in the past. Here comes the Rooster. Yes. Jake says, true word spoken. AIC are superior in their talent. Well, there we go.
Great band.
Fucking my emojis. What the hell? Alice in Chains carried the flag from metal in the 90s. That's actually not a bad point. They did.
They were touring more with fucking metal bands and grunge bands. I don't think
were.
they ever toured with Nirvana or Pearl Jam. They toured with fucking Pantera and Skid Row.
And Mustaine got them on the Clash of the Titans.
Yeah. They were.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Opened it up in America anyway.
The audience were throwing shit at them, but they still fucking played it.
Adrian agreed with Connor. He's saying Tommy Lee's a basic drummer with Flash, and Player One says some say the same about Lars, which maybe, but I think Lars is probably more solid.
Lars cops a lot of shit.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think Lars is a bad drummer. I like Lars' drumming.
I like
Lars is a good drummer.
Kevin says, other than Tommy Lee having a bigger penis than anyone in Alice in Chains, I'm guessing I would take Alice in Chains over Mötley Crüe. With any comparison, you can come up with better musicians and better songs. So there we go. That's from Kevin.
I wasn't comparing penises.
Didn't Tommy Lee inject something into his penis?
I don't want to know.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know if Janie Lane did that, so maybe Mötley should win.
Anyway,
didn't he?
We didn't compare that shit.
No, I'm not going to compare. That's not the battle we want. This is not the I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. No. Anyway.
No, Janie just injected his arm. Tommy Lee injected the baby's arm.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Vinny says, as much as I enjoy Mötley, the last 30 years has really tarnished their legacy. It becomes easier to pick them apart in hindsight.
Too fat. You're too fat for love.
It's easy to say, but try filling a position on drums different in the studio. I agree with that. It's hard to justify the hate when someone can do or be one of the best in one of the biggest bands in the world and still hold their own.
If you think about, if you want to think about you got Alice in Chains with Dirt, right? And so the singer, the songwriter was on fucking drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Mötley Crüe. The whole fucking band was on drugs except Mick, and they still come out with an album that was not as heavy and dark as that fucking other thing. So I love it. But it just shows you the mindset.
Okay. If Alice in Chains had released Shout the Devil in 1992, would anybody have brought it?
No. But I'd also want to say
because the world had changed.
Different eras.
It wasn't that era.
Yeah.
People didn't want to be happy in the 90s. Everyone just wanted to be a fucking moody, miserable cunt.
I know.
Like you, Dave.
But when you're one drunk and fucking drug guy.
Not grunge, Dave.
I fucking hate grunge, but yeah.
Anyway, let's get through these comments and do a wrap up. Paul Diano sucked from Zatoichi. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Out of here.
Yeah, it was good.
Well,
No,
I don't think it wasn't
I
that.
think he sucked, but not my favorite.
It's a bit of a dickhead.
I forgot to vote. I think
It's
Alice in Chains
It's a
it's a
dickhead.
tie.
It's a
So
dickhead.
Vinny says it's a tie. Is Jeff a halfling from
Yes.
Zatoichi? Yes, Jeff is a
I'm
halfling.
a halfling from the waist
Okay.
down. Only just small.
We're now going
Is
to
that-
Hobbit territory. We're going to be
Big 10
But
millimeter.
what about second
record.
breakfast?
big 10-inch Hobbit. But anyway,
halfling, big 5-inch.
Yeah.
Zatoichi says Rainbow Rising wins. We'll find out. We'll do an audience poll soon enough. Adrian says Ride the Lightning.
Mm.
Player 1 says I was a young hoodlum listening to Metallica with my gang members. Well, there you go. I'm glad you got out of that. Adrian says I saw the Clash of Titans tour. Wow, that'd be fucking cool.
Wow.
And Kevin says Mike Starr was on some serious drugs as well. Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure Jerry Cantrell was on it as well.
Not nearly to the level as the other
No.
guys, though.
No, not as
No.
much as Lane.
Yeah.
Like
Look who's
Jerry's
still
still with
alive.
us.
Look who's still
Yeah.
alive. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this. We got to get out of here. So let's get to the final part of the show tonight so we can get out of here on time. And that is to go to the win and the bin segment of the show. So let's do the rounds here. Dave, what have you got? Win, bin, what do you got this week?
Oh, Win. New Nightwish song. It's fucking fantastic. New album is out next Friday. I am
Yep.
so excited. It's judging on the 3 songs that we've heard so far. My God, this is going to be good. It
Yep.
touches on every era of Nightwish so far. Thomas Holopainen is a fantastic composer, philosopher, observer, just a brilliant human all around. Can't fucking wait for this album because the 3 songs we've heard so far are brilliant. So bring it on. I'm happy.
Nice. Just quickly here, Craig's gone. Got to go, Night All. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you enjoyed the show and enjoy the rest of your night, mate. So look after yourself. We'll see you again soon. All right, Conrad, win, bin, what do you got?
I haven't even thought about this as yet.
You got none this week, did you?
I won't go into my. Let's just say
We're not going to do this for the 3rd week in a row.
I'm not
Okay,
gonna do this. I'm not going to discuss my private life. Sex
She
life,
dumped you.
So what's
or
it
lack
really private?
thereon, or lack
No,
thereon.
You brought it up,
You
dude.
brought it up.
You don't have a
I'm
private
doing
life.
okay. All right, I'm doing okay. All right? That's what you need to know. That's what
We're
you
all
need
happy
to
Hail
know.
for you.
Satan.
Doing quite well in that
Yeah.
department. I'll have you know. Anyway, enough of that. Moving along rather swiftly. I guess
That's what she said.
I guess my bin was James Earl Jones.
Yeah,
Right.
fair enough. Yeah.
That really gutted me.
Yeah.
I was rather upset about that. As for wins, without elaborating,
do it.
yeah.
Don't do it.
Go to.
I'm not going to that.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah. Fuck, I don't know. Shit. Yeah, I can't. I've got nothing. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. It's all good. It's all good. All right, Belle, I know you've got some stuff for this week, so what's on your mind?
Yeah, I do. So 2 bins, couple of wins. The first bin is having the workload of 2 people, because my offside of my colleague, she's in the UK at the moment, and so it's all on me. And like, I like being busy, but today was fucking ridiculous. So, and she's still away for another, like, I don't know, month or so. So it's going to be
Good luck.
everything
That's
is
pretty
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So busy,
Good luck,
busy.
Belle.
It's kind of shit. So that's my
If there's
bin.
anything we can do to help out behind the scenes and other stuff, let us know. All right.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
reach out.
I nearly didn't get electric married on, but things just kind of calmed down at the end of the day. So that was
Cool.
and yeah, just I don't know, private health insurance and being forced to get it because I need to get a big operation in a year or so kind of sucks because like that's really draining financially. Anyway, that was a today thing, so it's kind of fresh in my mind as being pretty shit. And so wins. Look, I went and grabbed this because here's my tribute to James Earl Jones, friend of mine.
Nice. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a cool shirt.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's, I guess, I wouldn't call it a win because, the reason I pulled it out is not cool, but let's celebrate an awesome life, a long life, and, He just seemed like he was kind of a happy chap
Good
from what I saw. Who really knows? But yeah. All right, so wins. Yep, I got the day of work tomorrow, so that'll be nice.
That's all right.
I'm flying up to Sydney, get to see Maiden, Kill Switch. Forward to that. And so good things happening in the house selling department. Positive things happening there. It's all moving. It's busy, but it's moving in a good direction. And
so when you sell up, are you moving back to civilization, or are you staying?
Yeah.
You should. We don't have hamsters running our internet.
Civilization meaning Hobart.
Yeah, it's like, let's not get carried away. Let's not get carried away.
Let's call it a civilization, but perhaps not civilized. Let's just leave this alone.
Yeah. Civilization adjacent. Oh, that'll work.
Yeah, but that's all right. You can all just relax a little. Just definitely starting at Tassie. And my last win is I got a new song from two of my favourite bands in the last week. The first being Opeth. I don't know if you guys have heard this.
I have. That's fucking great.
I haven't heard
my God.
My God. Dude.
It's like he's just gone like not next level, but like another 10 levels up in terms of songwriting. It's incredible.
It's like fucking Frank Zappa, but done by Opeth. It's like old school, weird, old
weird. It's proggy as shit, but I wouldn't call it.
It's very prog.
It's a little bit. Wouldn't call it weird. I think weird.
There's a weird element. There's some odd time signatures in there. Very much. It's quirky. But Opeth, it's very Opeth.
Doesn't make it weird though. Yeah. It's very open, but it's Opeth. I guess
it's more Opeth than Opeth have been in the last 10 years. That's for sure.
Well,
I wouldn't say so. I think it's Opeth in a I don't know, a different dimension or something.
Okay. Parallel universe, maybe.
It's cool.
Their world is very big, and it's like it's for me Opeth, but it's just like you haven't done this shit before. But I'm happy anyway.
I tell you.
I'm along for the ride. Yeah, definitely.
Bring out the fucking album.
Not far away.
And Nightwish, of course, like fantastic song. Love that too. So,
Next Friday. Next Friday.
Yep.
I'll shut up now. Shut up.
I'm going to be so annoying next Thursday on the stream because I'm going to be like, oh my God, 2 hours till new Nightwish.
All right. That's next week. Let's now go to Jeff. What do you got for us this week?
All right. Well, longtime viewers will know that I sold my old car back in April, May. And so I bought a new car. And I went through a dealership, and I had lovely things to say about that dealership. They went above and beyond. Recently I've been getting because I travel on the East Link to and from work because it's quicker, right?
Yep.
So I've been getting some, bills in the mail because I need to get the beeper thing in my car because I had it in my old one, but it fucking died, and then I have to get a new one. Battery eventually dies. So I need to get a new one because they charge way too much. But anyway, I fucking was about to pay this bill, two of them, that it basically saying, if you don't pay, we're calling the cops, basically. You've got,
shit.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, okay, well, I got to wait till I get some fucking money because I'm just a bit, So I last night I was just about to fucking click enter on paying the bill. And then I noticed something. I'm like,
wrong car.
This is from my old Rego.
Oh.
In fucking July. So I'm like, what the fuck? These cunts. So they've taken my Rego, and they've taken my Rego, put it on some other car, and they've been driving all over fucking Eastlink and charging it to me.
Wow.
Yeah. So I spent fucking an hour on the phone today. I spoke to fucking Vic Rhodes. I spoke to fucking the company. I don't want to say their name. And then I spoke to Fines Victoria, which is a government thing, and try to get.
Oh, they're cunts. They know me. They're cunts.
They said that they're gonna quash these, which is fine. They're not. I don't have to pay them, but I said to Vic Rhodes, I said, well, can you make it so that can you take my name off this thing? Because I don't get any. No, I can't do that. So I'm going to continue to get fucking bills from some other cunt driving my fucking with my yeah. So I gotta go down there and cancel that rego officially. You
can't do it online. Get an online portal and remove the car.
Yeah,
I've got all the paperwork. Everything is transferred in my name for the new car. Like the other car I've got all the paperwork, but they won't.
That should just be automatic. That's fucked. It should be automatic. You got a new car, the old one gets cancelled.
Yeah, you surrender the registration under your name or something like that. I had to do it when I sold.
I think I have to actually go there because they wouldn't do it over the phone, and so I don't know if they'll do it online. But if anyone out there has any tips,
you're lucky you didn't pay it.
Yeah.
No shit. I mean, it was only $100, but I was like,
still, not
I was literally about to click, and because it was cheap, right? Yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute, I wasn't in July, okay, and then I'm like, I wasn't in Tullamarine. What the fuck? So anyway, that fucking, fuck.
That explains the message in Discord earlier on.
Yeah, it was like, this is fuck, because I was not happy.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
They wouldn't do it over the phone. They wouldn't, The one guy's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll take you off. Don't worry about it." Listen, where the fuck are you? Are you in Singapore? Because
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I don't know, but it was just fucking like, oh my gosh. Anyway, got my blood boiling. But that's it. So look, I will get it sorted, but I could not believe my shit luck. And I know it couldn't be on the car that I traded in because that car was fucking on its last legs. There's no, maybe if you're going through East, someone's fucking standing behind pushing it because there's no way. So they've taken the plates off, put it on another car, and thought, woohoo, we'll drive this around and Jeff will get charged. No. So anyway, and I'm going to continue to get charged until I can get.
Hopefully get that resolved sooner rather than later, man, because that wouldn't be fun at all.
Yeah.
No, I was speaking to a buddy. He had a similar thing happen, but see, they told me on Vic Roads, they said that most people don't do it. They take the rego off, but I was talking to a buddy, and he used to be a cop, and he said it's actually against the law. You're not allowed when you trade a car in or whatever. You're not allowed to take it off that rego because it belongs on the car. So what they're supposed to do is when you buy a car and it transfers over to your name, that rego gets deleted out of the system with your name, and it becomes dead.
You're assumed that was that fucking easy. It should just be the way it. You no longer own the car.
You think anyway.
Yeah, don't assume. That just makes no sense.
You make an ass of you and me.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, anyway, that's my fucking bin. And as a win, I got to see Maiden, but we'll talk about that next week.
We'll talk next week.
Yes, we will.
All right. All right. Quickly for me, I got a win and a couple of bins. A couple of bins first is one is just this week, like between Linkin Park and Dave Grohl and everything else. The level of
what about Second Family?
Yeah, I don't care about any of that stuff because the thing is, what I find remarkable is just I don't pay a lot of attention, but you have to skim a lot to keep up to date with what's going on. And just the amount of fucking posts and just nonsense that's all just clickbait shit about between Linkin Park and Dave Grohl and all this kind of crap. It's like, are we really reverting in the rock and metal world to just being a pure gossip trash bunch of shit? Like, are we really? What the fuck? Can we just
honestly, dude? For the last 20 years,
it's turning into TMZ.
The last 20 years, though, metal has been more bitchy than the pop world. It really has.
It's fucking stupid. I'm over it. My point is I'm over it, and it can go in the bin. Just it's so silly. It's not funny. The other one too is the power company up this way. Speaking of middle of nowhere territory, we have a bit of land here, obviously, and there's a power pole on the land because power supplies.
You need one.
Yeah, we have one power pole here.
You got one power pole.
Yeah. And the lines are fucking long. But anyway, they came out here because I do like a yearly or bi-yearly check on the power pole out here. And we just put in that new driveway. I think I mentioned last week, or it was put a new driveway in, concreted the sides, kept the drainage pipe in place, and all that kind of stuff. These fuckers drove and missed the edge and hit the fucking concrete edging on our thing to keep in pipe in place and fucking smashed it all up. So we've got to re-concrete the side of our driveway because these fuckers can't drive their four-wheel drive properly. Fucking
Are they paying it? Are they paying
We're gonna have to. We're gonna complain. It's like you fuckers. Like, it's not even because it's a secondary driveway as well. It's not even the main one, so it wasn't even the regular access point for them. So why they've gone that way and why they've trashed it is fucking beyond us. So it's like, okay, well, this is shit.
Dickheads.
So yeah, they smashed up the concrete that we just did the other week. So I was like, well, fuck you guys.
This is the council.
Fucking guys, I'm going on.
Private power company, so it's not council.
I can afford it.
Oh, they can definitely fucking afford it. Don't worry about that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that was to be determined. But my win for this week is more fun actually. My win for this week is that for the first time in a long time, it started on Sunday for the Sunday session Patreon. I've actually got color in my lighting, so I don't look so fucking washed out as I have done on the previous months and months and months. Because when Jody brought some stuff back up from Melbourne, a lot of that included the lighting. So I've got my old lighting rig back, which means I look like an actual human with some color in my fucking palette, which is great. So I've got the old lighting rig set up again, which is fantastic. So Dave, those lights you used to see at the old set, they're actually in this little room right now. So they're up here, which is working wonderfully. Got all this sort of stuff here. And I'm looking forward now because we've got some stuff to sift through. I'm slowly rearranging my workspace here again now too, which is making it all sort of flow a bit better. So that's just my win.
Did you get your guitars, dude?
Yes, they're here. Got
all right, we're gonna jam.
Got all five of the fuckers.
We can jam by a live stream. You, me, and Jeff, we'll do like an Iron Maiden triple fret harmony shit.
Yeah, I'll be Yannick.
Can you throw the guitar over your head? Bell can bust out the keys. Conrad, can you play anything?
I can try.
Okay, you can sing. And you can do like an Axl Rose in Rocket Queen and Root the Drummer's Girlfriend.
Yeah, I've heard him sing. It's quite good.
Conrad singing, yeah.
I've got the bass in there too. I've got a bass. I've got 3 electrics. Got 2 acoustics. So yeah, I've got a bit here.
You bust at the bass. Me and Jeff will do the guitars.
So
Bell will be on the keys. Conrad, you're singing, dude.
All right.
I'll get a drum loop.
We don't need a drummer.
We'll get a drum loop going.
I'll just get a drum loop.
Fuck the drummer. Drummers always stop the coke in the bathroom anyway.
Drummers are always late, so
yeah, they're always out of time. You know when a drummer's knocking on your door. All right, when a drummer's knocking on your door, he doesn't know when to come in.
Oh, here we go. Dad jokes. All right, final comments here, people. Tommy Lee was a penis pumper. I don't know, but probably not. Go figure. Hollywood from Player One. This got back to the fucking how long ago with these comments. Michael says, "Been waiting for Bell to see Maiden. Have to wait another week to hear Dave recounting being the human pinball machine on the floor at Maiden."
Did you see that shit, motherfucker?
Yeah, that is coming.
Okay, I've watched videos from the fucking show from the seats, and Saturday night was very different to Friday night. Motherfucker, and I was in that shit.
So Friday night was tame. So maybe, I was there.
See, like jump on YouTube, dude. There's lots of videos, but the difference between the audience in the front and center between Friday night and Saturday night, and keep in mind, I'm front and center on Saturday night. That's fucked.
All right.
That wasn't even a circle pit. That was just a fucking let's slam the front. That wasn't a circle pit at all.
Well, let's.
Yeah. I will rant about that next week. That was fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear Bell's review.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to everyone's review. Adrian's gone. Excellent show. Thank you for the kind words.
Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. Vinny says, my Binny's funerals, unfortunately, 24 hours after last week's stream, my auntie passed away. We did.
Oh, dude.
Vinny.
Mate.
If you're no longer suffering, tomorrow will be heavy. Look after yourselves, everyone. Vinny, genuinely, from all of us, I think I can say condolences. Look after yourself. All the best for tomorrow. I know it's a shit.
Hope you're okay, man.
thing. If you need us,
love
reach
you, Sam.
out, please. You're one of the good ones.
Oh,
So
dude.
yeah, we're here for you. Whatever we can do. Sorry to hear that, man. You did mention last week that you knew it was coming and all that sort of stuff, but it's just it's a shame when it does actually happen. And yeah, like I said, I think on behalf of us all here, condolences sincerely to you and yours. All the best with everything coming up, because it's just gonna be a shit time for a little bit, unfortunately. But yeah, if we can do anything for you aside from our usual stupidity, then yeah, please reach out and let us know what we can do for you. We'll try and help out where we can, genuinely. I always hate moving on from comments like that, but you kind of just got to keep doing it, unfortunately.
Yeah, you gotta, life goes on.
I hate it, but anyway. Player one said, "Rock on, we'll drink up too." Vinny says, "Bell, if you need any advice on health insurances, I'm a total guru with it after spending nearly 10 years in it. Can help you pick the right cover." All right, well, cool. You two can connect and get chatting.
Okay. Thanks, Vinny.
There we go.
Cool.
Player one said, "Bless you, good peeps. Likewise to you. Thanks for jumping in. Good to see you tonight. Thanks for jumping and getting so involved."
Thank you.
Basher says, "Iron Maiden and Killswitch, great show. Enjoy, Bell." So there we go. Basher, I'm pretty sure Bell's gonna be very happy next week. We'll see how we go. Player one, there's a raft here. Cheeky monkeys, yes, we are.
Yes.
Love the one dude's beard. That'd be you, Jeff. Or both of them. I don't know. Or maybe Conrad.
No,
I don't know.
Conrad
Here we
too,
go. Conrad.
You
Conrad.
guys got
It's
sorry.
me.
That's you, Bell. Okay. Shot in the dark.
Bell's getting
Bell,
a chick that doesn't
Bell,
have
the bearded
facial
lady.
hair on this show.
All right. Yeah, okay. Wow, I'm just going to move on now. Kat says, "Another mad show, guys.
Let's
Thanks.
compare.
Missing out on the Offspring tickets. Win seeing Maiden. And see you next week, Jeff. Raw."
We'll do it. Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Jeff's in a tree.
Yes.
What do we
Yeah.
got?
Oh.
Vinny also
Oh,
said
there's a
that
pussy joke there somewhere.
marketplace selling something for $10, being asked to meet in a car park. At least make it worthwhile and offer a reach round or something. Wow. Fuck.
Okay.
Wow. I don't know what's going on. This
Vinny.
one a while. Edge Crush
Vinny,
said,
I wanted to meet you
night.
one day, man, but maybe
Yeah,
not.
you two are going to be twisted. I was on the floor Friday and the seats on Saturday, and Nicole says, "Have fun, Bell." So we've got a lot of love for that kicking
Thanks,
around.
man.
And Player one also said, "You people are hella cute." Thank you. Same back at you. Hopefully you're all having a good
I
night.
am cute. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, just ask
Oh,
Dave.
for
He'll tell
fuck's
you.
sake.
All right. So make sure you watch it on TV as well. 10:30 p.m. Saturday night, Channel 3 in Melbourne. At 10:30 p.m. Thursday night, Channel 44 Adelaide, which is right about now. It's already on over there. This week's show coming up on this coming Saturday and the Thursday following is an interview with TDT, also known as the Dreadful Tides. And then we'll also be releasing that interview along with our full interview with Carmeria over the next 48 hours or so as well. Yeah, everything. Just like, follow, subscribe. You all know the usual drill by now. Yeah, just find us on your preferred platform at the Hard Rock Show. You can do that one. If you want to get more involved, get behind the scenes and get involved in things like voting on the Hot Rocks and Tastemakers stuff, then we have Patreon as well if you want to get involved in that. And if you want to reach out for sending submissions, whatever else into as well, you've got media at thehardrockshow.com is the best email for us as well. Final comments here. Edge Crush is gone. See you Sunday night. Good that we'll look forward to it as well. Nicole says, "Thank you and good night all." Likewise. Edge Crush said, "Looked as string as each other." I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, I hate them windmill moshes, to be honest. So annoying. Well, we'll have thoughts on
Yeah,
bad
it's distracting from the fucking show. Just
We'll have bad mosh
jumping all
etiquette.
over each other. It's shit.
Next week we'll be coming to that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll have my rant next week.
I don't know what Jeff's doing, but it looks odd in the background. Anyway.
Oh, sorry. It did look, I guess you.
All right. On that note, a big thank you to Dave and Conrad on the
Tissues.
same level as me here on the screen tonight. A big thank you to Jeff and Bell on the bottom half of the screen while we finally wrap this shit up. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all again, same time and place next week. Unless you're on Patreon, we'll see you on Sunday. But until next time, whenever we see you, as always, look after yourselves. All the best. Have a great week ahead. We'll see you soon. Until then, I'm Andrew. On behalf of us all at the show, thank you again. Till next time, you know what to do.
Have it
folks.
early.
Drink.
Drink up.
Fuck.
Rock on.
Shit.
Cheers, motherfuckers.
See you next week, folks. Bye.